Sit in all the places, such as my Discord, the Modifius official Discord, Stream Community channel, the Blue Sky. So, I think I did that. I did do that. Good. Good. So, with all that, hello everyone. I'm AD Springer, also known as Corbinian. This is the Electric Metropolis video game tour, and today it's another episode of Star Trek Return to the Frontier, and it seems we're going to be getting stuck in once more into some pirate hunting. So I'll give it over to the GM.
And me to the Commodore.
Captain's supplementary log, stardate 0260.5. Admiral Sean's force has engaged the Blood Latinum fleet. Their escort ships have been peeled off and engaged by our ships, leaving their capital ship, the Latinum Fever, completely unguarded. I have given the order to advance and engage. One way or another, it all ends now. Directives: defeat the Blood Latinum Syndicate, arrest Queen Tashi and any other Syndicate members present. Detain any non-Syndicate persons or ships in the Epsilon SETI system.
We will get an additional 3 threat because Griffin showed up.
Yay!
I'm helping.
You showed up just in time. Solaris literally just finished reading the log. So we do find y'all as the Thralic pulls out of warp near Epsilon SETI 4, where the now alone Latinum Fever sits. And I think we go straight into combat as Admiral Sean and
Somebody else.
Excuse me.
her name is escaping me real quick. Chief Justice.
Tashi?
No.
Oh.
No, the local one of the local governors.
Oh.
That you met before. That all olive branches were refused. I believe y'all go first. Because you've initiated this.
Okay, question. What do we know about the ship? Do we know any, do we know the scale and traits, talents, anything about the Platinum Fever?
Just from general scans during the fight so far, I'll tell you scale 4. And that actually I think that's all that you would know.
Also seems to have a high command rating because they were they were directing other people.
Yes, you could assume that as well.
Okay. What are we feeling? Step 1, scan them to see if we can learn more about their abilities.
Personally advocate for step 1, have me go evasive, because then I can contest any attacks against us, and we don't have to worry quite so much about getting shot.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Because
we don't know the armaments really.
All right, let's go.
Quick question: the
blue diagram to the right side, is that more decorative or is that telling me something?
I originally thought this was going to take part in all one episode, so I made this map for the fleet combat and normal combat to happen on one screen. We're not really doing that, but I also did not resize the screen just because it was useful to have secondary information over there instead of on top of the actual map we're using. So I could leave it up to y'all if y'all want. I could shrink down to only use one of this if y'all would prefer the yellow square kind of map, or where exact position is known, or I could do the blue where it's relative since there's only one ship. But I assumed y'all normally would prefer the absolute positioning of the yellow map.
You can keep it as is.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me. I just didn't know if I'd missed something last week where I really needed to know what was going on there.
Okay.
Thanks.
And for right now, you can assume that the blue map is decorative. I'm not going to track it unless y'all would prefer to use it.
And it's very pretty.
I'm good with this. Yeah. So I will then take the first turn and spend that with a minor to impulse towards them, and then major action set up evasive.
So impulse is 1 square.
Yep. Unless we prefer that I warped straight on top of them, I can do that.
No, save
I
power.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
No, I think maneuver is 1 square. I think impulse can be anywhere up into long.
Yeah,
now.
I need to check that.
Yeah, impulse moves you 2 zones instead of just 1. Maneuver is just it's a crawl.
Okay, so then what distance do we want to end from them for optimal scans and stuff? That's the wrong ensign.
What's our phaser range? Our optimal phaser range? Is that long, medium?
Medium or closer.
Medium or close, yeah. At long,
So
we can still tag them with torpedoes, but...
Right, so I'd say medium's probably pretty good.
Yep.
All right. So use the maneuvering thrusters to move slightly forward.
Let me just double check that because it matters for one of my talents. I think I am going to be minoring to impulse. Yeah. No, I'm going to be impulsing. So, let's see, we started there. It'll move us 2 zones. So we could move like here then and maintain medium, right?
That sounds good to me.
Forces that if they want to close.
Impulse allows you to only move 1 zone.
Okay,
It's
cool. Then
up to 2 zones.
up to 2 zones, cool.
So you just want to move forward 1?
Yep, 1's fine.
Basically spending the other half of the movement flying around in circles in that zone.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's the beginning of the evasive pattern, obviously.
Yeah.
Oh, and actually, sorry, thrusters doesn't allow you to move 1. Thrusters allows you to move anywhere within your current zone, which is useful for getting into and out of contact.
Right, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Okay, and what are you doing next?
I mean, that's my turn. I've used my minor.
Sorry,
and I've taken action.
sorry. I am now into the major action, which I think is evasive action.
Yeah, I just set up evasive action. Doesn't require any roll. It just eats my major action.
Okay. Any ability to keep, or any desire to keep?
We can keep. Do we want to keep and then I can rally to get us some momentum?
We may want you to direct somebody to either to double tap or to move us away from a threat or something like that, because we don't know.
Right now, you couldn't afford a direct. It does require momentum.
All right, then I say we just let them have it.
So you would have to do something with Griffin or something to generate momentum if y'all wanted to do that. I think it's still technically possible, but difficult at this stage.
I'm thinking long-term thinking, more than just the single turn. But later we might get momentum, but if you do your turn now, then you can't direct. The option's off the table for the whole round. The only benefit of keeping now would be if you wanted to have someone scan right away.
Or if your rally is good enough, you could rally and then use your direct now.
Yeah, I don't think we have to. I think we can just let them have it.
Okay.
And the next turn we can scan, keep, shoot.
Right.
For positioning notes, Revere will be in main engineering.
Yep. Makes great
Yeah,
sense.
that is actually pretty important for you to note. All right.
Oh.
Yeah, barring any weird abilities that their ship has, which should be a pretty even fight for us, really. Since the rest of the fleet's busy fighting other ships, so we didn't, because that was the benefit of the fleet combat before, was knowing who's in their hex, who's helping them out, who's far
Yeah,
away.
you've cleared out the hex. You do know that the only ship close enough to assist was the Klingon flagship because it stayed by, and it was only 1 square away. There were no other ships that were within 1 fleet scale movement, so they're all discounted.
Yeah.
I'm still going to count it as reinforcements, but they're the logical reinforcements I could afford. I couldn't and wouldn't use any other form of reinforcements because they're too far away.
Yeah, they have their own problems right now.
Which I guess I don't know in ship scale because there's named NPCs. Do I pay for just the? I think I would pay just for the ship, but I'm not sure. I may have to pay for the ship and because there are 2 major NPCs on that ship. So
You would pay for them as well because the ship scale gives it its turns, but hero actions and extra turns can come off of the heroic officers.
Yeah, the book is also very flexible about how many turns the enemy gets. That's why I'm going to do this combat as if they get the same number you have.
Okay.
Sometimes it's locked to scale. Sometimes it's like give them as many as the player has. If you're doing like a board cube, it's like shrink it to the number of the player has, or give them how many they have if you want it to be really difficult. It does not give a this is how it works. It's a do this for each type of kind of encounter you want.
It feels a bit of a soft hand. Modifius backed off the levers a bit and said, do whatever. It's like, we paid like $60+ for your book. You tell me. It's your game. Make a ruling. You can always rule 0 it later. Don't throw up your hands and go, I don't know. It's like, what do you mean you don't know? It's your book. Right. Make a decision.
If I wanted to do freeform improv, I wouldn't buy your book. Your book is there to give structure to my improv.
All right. They are going to minor impulse to bring them into close.
You mean
sorry.
medium?
No. No, they were already in medium. You moved to put them into medium.
Oh yes, yes. Sorry, you're right. My brain.
Yeah.
My brain. You're right.
Sorry, this is actually. I skipped a step. I'm going to spend 1 for a direct. The direct is to do an attack pattern, and the helm officer is going to buy a minor to impulse. So that is. I think you don't roll for attack pattern, right? It's an assist. Yeah, you don't make a roll now. I guess when you direct to do an attack pattern, then does the direct? I guess the direct also holds over until that action happens.
Well, direct
So when the
says
attack pattern
the direct is a major action that you're making someone else do something, because that person, whoever was directed, could still do something else on their turn. Well, no, not really, because the attack, because the attacker would stay until that person acted.
Yeah, so I think on the attack pattern, then the con officer and the directing officer both assist. Actually, I'm not sure. I think the command officer assist just evaporates because they did attempt the major action, and there's just nothing for you to assist roll with. If that seems fair to apply to y'all as well, that if you
I think
direct
it
someone to
does.
do something like
Yep.
Because if
mean,
you
it
direct
makes
someone on a
sense.
diff 0 task and the like GM says you don't have to roll, then you don't get to roll the assist either.
yeah,
Right, and
okay,
Yeah, there's
that's
nothing you're
helpful.
assisting. Yeah.
Yeah, and the standard assist, if they don't make the roll, then you can't assist either. So it seems logical.
Yeah.
Wow, that is really good spice cake.
Ooh.
Spice cake?
Yeah, not really a winter thing, but we've had a neighbor gifted us with one, and we've had it in the freezer, so we just decided to thaw it and eat it. And
Nice.
man, it is really, really good. Be better in the morning with coffee, but still.
Oh, this is like the kind of cake they have at like breakfast places. Okay.
Uh,
Yes. Mm.
I will then swift task and direct again. As y'all have played it safe, but they pull out all the stops on their initial assault.
Highway to the danger zone.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Griffin, I believe you have an opposed task here.
Yep.
You're using Daring Con plus Structure Con.
All right. Daring Con plus Structure Con. I'm kind of going to go all out for this because either we generate momentum for later or we,
We get hit. Yeah.
get hit. And let's see.
Sounds good. And y'all, whenever you spend reserve power, kind of call it out so I can be ready to get it back.
Okay. I don't think I'm spending anything on this one.
Okay. Just as a head,
Uh,
a note.
Daring Con, combat maneuvers focus.
Yes.
Value limits are there to be tested.
Yes.
All right, spending that for 2 hits. And we'll generate momentum off that. Rate of Brazen 2.
No, because you're reacting to someone else's here. You're not the one pushing the envelope. They are.
I mean, I'm pushing the performance envelope, but I don't think Headstrong's going to do anything. All right.
Make sure to
I will
check the ship. Make sure to check the ship.
Oh, right, the
Y'all
ship.
are all on the ship, so its traits will also be pretty important here.
Mm-hmm. Taking a look at the ship, scrolling down for the ship. All right. Well-drilled crew. I don't know how much of that is coming into my maneuvering, but there's presumably some amount of crew support that's not mechanically, but like, crew operations that are coming into this.
Um, yes, that's fine.
All right, and then legendary officer cadre. I'm technically an officer now.
The legendary, that trait's not talking about you.
I mean, it could be though.
No, the events you've been a part of are why other officers try to come here.
Yeah. Okay.
No, I think that would be more helpful in situations that are unexpected or unplanned.
Mm-hmm.
What you're doing right now, Starfleet officers are normally good at doing. Right. They normally go to an academy to learn how to do what you're doing right now. If you're doing something that's rarely encountered, that's where that would be more beneficial.
Cool. All right, then I will spend, let's see, some amount of threat. Don't think there's anything else on the ship that helps here. Yep.
I think that ends up with between determination and traits. We ended at 3 hits.
Yeah, it's 3 hits right now. I'm going to spend 3 threat to roll 3 dice on top of that.
Okay.
And checking to see if I have a callback. Callback to Latinum fever.
Describe the episode. Oh,
I flew the ship against Orions.
You were on the away team with Revere, right?
I did go on the away team, yeah, but I also did a contest.
There was a combat. Yeah. Yes, so yes, that applies.
Okay. So I'll at least get 1 back, and I'll roll to see if I keep. I do not keep the spent determination. All right, rolling 3.
All right. With the ship's assist, that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 hits.
8 hits.
All right. I will spend those 3.
Now, technically, this is higher than a diff 5 task. Can they even attempt to shoot us anymore?
Yes. So if you start out with the assumption it's an opposed task, then
Gotcha.
yes. It's when it's not necessarily an opposed task and they've raised the difficulty by setting traits, or you've raised the difficulty by setting traits. In fact, it's not for opposed tasks. It feels like that because they have done something to stop your progress, their progress, but it's really only there for single tasks or extended tasks where you're not rolling against them, you're just rolling, and blockers have been put up in your place to push the diff higher than 5.
Makes sense.
So I'll spend 3 more. Okay, I don't think there were any actual complications there. Don't know why it chose to roll them that way. I will say you have now, just from this shot, we're going to see if it connects or not, but this shot has revealed enough that you are dealing with a crew that is seasoned beyond what you have fought before. I don't think you've ever fought a crew using an 11 and a 4. So I think these are the most veteran people you've ever fought, and it shows in their flying and shooting. This pirate crew has been together for a long time. And the assist from Helm, because they are on an attack pattern, which I don't think... Yeah, it doesn't automatically reduce the diff like it used to. It just gives you an assist.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, and we have Queen Tashi, who gave the 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I believe that's a hit.
That is a hit.
Ouch.
So, Griffin, you're in best form. You're pulling out every stop, every trick, and this is the first time you've encountered someone who can go toe to toe with you. You find yourself almost stunned in surprise when the shot connects, because it shouldn't have. No one has been this fast before to keep up with you.
All right. I think Griffin swears in Klingon at that point.
Does Griffin know how to swear in Klingon?
Griffin knows like 3 swear words in Klingon.
Okay. And they're all slight variations on Patak.
They're all things that you would say to a Klingon to get them really offended and maybe flying bad.
Okay.
You're really good at
Unfortunately, they
knitting.
can't hear you.
Yeah, something like that. Like it's something that's like she might not necessarily even know what these mean.
Yeah.
Your
Yeah,
father was a great
this nerd-
cook.
Mm-hmm.
Your flight
All right.
assistant software is
Which
incredible.
could be a heinous insult, honestly.
So no momentum was gained, but I will spend a little because this was their plan. Base damage is 6 as you are hit with a Tetrion cannon.
Ouch.
Does that have penetration?
No, it has depleting.
Okay.
So it cannot cause the ship to become shaken, but it reduces the cost to do additional damage. So it's like a weaker form of intense.
Yeah, let me just check something real quick.
This weapon is designed to attack shields because they don't like to destroy the people they shoot at. They like to take their shields down and capture them.
What's the total damage? 6, you said?
Oh, sorry. I paid to push it up to 8.
Okay, so that will be 2 after resistance because I've raised our resistance. Or sorry, 3 after resistance because I've raised our resistance by 2 due to one of my talents having gone evasive.
Okay, and your base resistance I think is 3.
Correct.
Correct, yeah.
Okay, so that
So
is
currently our resistance is 5. So we take 3 on the shields.
I apologize. It is 9 damage. I wrote down the damage on the sheet incorrectly. So it's scale, which is 4, plus 2 for being a cannon, which is 6. What I was just checking was 2E gives a bonus from the weapons rating, and they have a weapons rating that gives them a +1 to damage.
Okay.
Like
So
so
we take
made-
4 shield damage at that point.
4 shield damage, yes.
We made
Yeah.
the mistake and miswrote the resistance. It's actually 6 because.
Oh, well.
Oh.
Yeah.
Page
We
number,
actually have a
page
resistance of
number.
10, you see.
I wouldn't worry about it.
Yeah.
You see, technically, Penn still serves on this ship, so he's just going to go kick them, and that should
Yeah.
solve the battle.
Yeah.
Just drop kicks through space.
I don't think Penn can serve on this ship. It would
Well, okay,
it would introduce
I
some
meant
weird complications.
his chief.
Mhm.
Oh, the chief. Okay, yeah.
So 4 to shields. You are not shaken though, which I don't think you would have been. I don't think you got.
4 of 10. No.
Yeah.
What,
But
10?
Ensign Kaufman does shout out, they're draining our shields as the Tetrion beam glances across the fields.
So I understand that this is one attack in the terms of the game, but like narratively, is this literally just like a continuous beam that hits our shield and slowly drains it over time?
No, it is a beam like a phaser strike or something. It is just more devastating to the shields than a phaser or a disruptor would be. Actually, it is equally as damaging as a disruptor, but a disruptor would also be highly damaging to a ship hull. The Tetrion would not be any more
Gotcha.
damaging than like a phaser would.
It's so you don't overkill your target, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
It's exactly that reason, because they're a pirate ship.
Pirate weapon, yeah.
Um,
So my thought is, my thought is we have, say, Temsic go play someone to scan for weakness. We keep, and then I direct, I direct Corbinian to shoot.
Sounds like a
It does
plan to
pass
me.
to y'all.
Or do people have a different idea?
Sounds like a plan to me, personally.
All right. Temsika, you are on board with that?
Yeah. I am on board with that.
Do you want to use your
Okay.
dock or grab one of the side guys to scan for weakness?
Yeah, that's what I figure. I should probably grab one of the side guys because Ivanov ain't here.
Uh,
I'm,
do you
just-
have any? Do you have any favors you might be able to activate someone without using a crew support?
Yeah, that's what I'm about to. That's what I'm about to check. On my dock.
I know a lot of people have one with Suzuki just because he's been around so long.
hmm
I think I've got like
I was
2 with
also.
Suzuki.
Do I have? Oh, actually, I also have a favor with Jeva.
Oh, okay. She has
If
sensor
we want
ops.
her. Yeah, that's why.
Yeah.
Yep.
Go for it.
Give me just a sec to mark that off on my sheet that I have spent that.
So
Cool. And scan for weaknesses. What again?
Control science, diff 2.
It's control. Okay.
control science diff 2 assisted by sensor security.
Okay, and what do we have for resources?
1 momentum.
I hope you don't mind if I spend that momentum.
Yes, because we need it for direct. Oh wait, we need 1 for direct
Yeah,
or
we
2?
might. We need one for direct.
direct.
Yeah.
Oh, then
Also-
never mind. Okay,
Also,
fair enough.
Doctor, you would probably want to declare that you're using your miner to calibrate sensors because that gives you a reroll, or you can ignore a trait. But there are no traits right now providing a negative, but you could get a reroll if you have no
Good to
other
know.
idea what to do with your miner.
Cool. I will spend a miner to calibrate sensors. Spend a threat for a third die.
That's good. I was getting low.
Okay, well,
1 momentum gained.
2 momentum.
2 momentum
gains.
gained.
And give it and choose the piercing quality because I'm already gonna buff the damage anyway when I shoot.
Okay.
Because you've
Okay,
revealed
good
the
call.
vulnerability, and I have a talent that boosts severity because you did that.
Good call.
And then we hold for the captain to direct me, I suppose. Is the
Do
move
we have
action here?
momentum?
We have 3.
Okay. Oh, sorry. I had a little pop up over the momentum thing.
3. Y'all already had. Oh yeah, yeah. Did y'all already have one?
Yes.
This only got y'all 2.
Correct.
Okay.
All right, so we keep for free, and then yeah, upon learning, she gives the order to scan for weakness, and upon learning that you've got one, she says, Lieutenant Aratana, open fire.
Very good, Commodore. I will buy a miner.
Sorry, I was on the wrong button down. I was gonna say real quick, we are assuming both ships came into this shields and weapons up, so
Yeah.
that's not a concern.
Okay, good.
That makes sense because we were in a firefight before the session even started.
Yeah, before he spent the miner on that, I wanted to.
No, I'm actually
ahead.
getting a targeting solution. I am. I'm probably not gonna reach anything out of the. Oh,
Don't you have a talent which allows you to do both?
that was a ship thing, and I think
okay.
I think that got swapped out a while ago. Unfortunately.
Oh, that may have been on the Andromeda.
Yeah. So I am going to. Right now, the severity without doing anything else. Firing. Oh, they're not marked on the sheet because that would be helpful. It's +2. Will I do a breach all in one go? Is the question. Or
and
I'd rather have a reroll.
if you're using phasers, the diff here is only 1, so I might suggest calibrate weapons.
That is what I am doing, yes, but it's a difference between whether I'm aiming for a system, assuming I'm going to get a breach and damage a particular system, or I'm getting a reroll of a d20. Or you think calibrate weapons to
which increases
damage.
the increased damage instead of targeting solution. But if you weren't going to do the d20, because I was looking at the d20, I was like, that's not going to help much if you only have a diff 1. But if you choose to do the targeting system, then that may be better than calibrate system.
I am going to target their engines.
Okay.
Bring, let's go. And we're going to fire. I believe our torpedoes do more damage than our phasers. If I'm not crazy.
Checking.
Well, I mean, you are, but that has nothing to do with it.
Why is it not on your sheet?
It is not on our sheet. That's strange. Let me.
Yeah, none of the weapons had.
I bet someone's done something funny with Roll20. Because we've had y'all have used the ship's weapons as recently as like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
These are photon torpedoes. They are 3 high. Oh, that's phaser breaks. 3 high yield. Long phasers. They're phaser what's? They're phaser banks. Phaser bank is
they're
swell
banks.
1, so that's 5. Ah!
Yeah.
Alright, so phaser banks can do more raw severity.
Yeah.
Torpedoes' only advantage is high yield, and high yield is basically just devastating, so I could tap them twice. Well, rather, if we get a breach, it does an additional breach.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, your phasers should be 5 plus. They should be 6 because you have a weapon score of 8. Oh no, y'all have a weapon score of 7.
So 5 then?
Nope, that's still +1. So that is phaser score of 6.
Okay.
Put that in the
Your
quality.
torpedo score is 4. Unless you do a salvo, then it's 5.
Okay, so the question is whether or not I would do enough to.
Yeah, torpedo salvo with high yield.
I'd have to hope that 4 would be enough to cause a breach, which, if they're like us, 4 won't be enough. Well, sorry, 4, 5, 6, because I turn it up by 2, because
Yes.
I'm using an ambush tactic.
I mean, then if it's... You can get to 5, 6, 7 then?
If it factors into your calculation, I'm gonna use the palm leaf. Is that what it's called? The
No, that's a peace mission one.
Sorry. The Christopher Pike medal, which would give me an automatic 2. So you do get 2 successes off the bat.
Yeah. Oh, I'm pretty sure we're gonna hit it because it's a diff 1. We're almost certainly gonna hit them. It's whether or not we're doing enough damage to cause critical breaches. Because I'm for sure breaching the engine at least. I'm hoping they breach the engine at least once.
Yeah.
I can always buy devastating attack if I get a bunch of momentum. Yeah, let's make sure we get this. So it'll be phaser banks.
All right.
I'm just going flat. They don't roll to defend. They charged into us.
Yeah, you only ever have to do opposed if it's evasive.
Difficulty will be increased by 1 because we are evasive.
Oh, so it's 2. Okay.
Okay, so it is diff 2.
Diff 2, yeah.
Oh, right.
I don't have the talent that negates that.
Seeing guide traits if they're still active. I was thinking of invoking known Orion attack patterns. I may be very familiar with Orion, especially the Blood Latinum's tactics in space combat. Because I would brief because I briefed everyone during the initial briefing.
Yes.
And it would also tie in with the fact of Jeva giving you the firing solution.
Yeah. Yeah, this is not the first time Eraton has fought them before. This is the first time he's fought them in a very nice ship, fighting another very nice ship, but he's fought the Blood Latinums before.
So it is diff 2, but I believe you have a free hit here.
Yep. So I will suffer 1 stress to bring the difficulty down by extra effort.
Okay.
Sorry, the diff's 2, so I suffer 2 stress. Because it matters what the original diff was, not what it is currently.
Yeah, because that trait did not lower the diff; it just gave you a free hit.
Right. Yeah. All right, so I'm just not missing the thing. Do I want to buy anything?
I like the idea. My crazy flying is actually giving you stress.
Yeah.
You're having to do live trigonometry calculations to have the right firing solution as she's maneuvering the ship, which only makes it all the harder.
Maneuvering the ship
that was
unpredictably.
that is like a thing. I think in the
Yeah,
system that it's
Yeah.
like if your reason score is high enough, you can do quick calculations.
Mm-hmm.
Plus the ship, which is WEPS.
I mean,
security.
I'd be actually willing, with that justification, I'd be willing to let you use the trait Vulcan on that complication.
Sure. Oh, well, actually, you know what?
You
I have
do
a free
get a
reroll.
reroll from Advisor. Yeah.
That's not a terrible.
Oh, although y'all have justified 2 assists, to get both assists, you'd have to give 1 momentum, right?
Oh, okay.
You've already given yours. Oh no, you didn't do attack pattern. Sorry, you did evasive. So sorry, I had it in my mind that Griffin was also going to assist, but okay.
Okay, so
that's 3 successes, 4 successes on a diff 2. No, you brought it down to diff 1, so it's 4 successes on a diff 1, 3 momentum.
Yep. So that hit is piercing because of the scan from earlier. 6 because of just the ship being cool. I add 2 more because of ambush tactics, because I'm firing at a weak point, which is a vulnerability or weakness. So that's an 8 piercing attack against their engines.
All right, is that all the modifications?
That's a good question. Oh, wait. I'm missing something. Aren't I? They just have a weird thing now. Well, not weird thing. Versatile, I can do free stuff anyway.
You still have versatile.
So we just have to float, essentially, that I could just make this worse. Devastating I can't do multiple times. I can only do once if memory serves me. So I will spend 2.
Are you already doing devastating somehow?
No. So I'd have to spend to do it.
Okay, yeah, you could do that. I mean,
Yeah, I'll spend 2 to get the devastating.
oh wait, I take that back. There, you may be able to do that, but I was looking at the wrong thing. There are only like 2 options you have. I think you may already be looking at the table.
Yeah. So I'll spend 2 from the versatile for devastating attack, which will resolve that after this one, because that's a second hit basically. This first hit, I will add. We don't need more momentum right now because we already did our spend, so I'll just dump an extra 2 more damage. So that's not 8, that's 10.
Okay, and did you have a way? Did you spend all 4 momentum there?
Yep.
Okay, because okay.
In theory, I could have done 12 straight to the shit, but devastating attack's probably better. As Eraton's basically chasing after a blinking hit me light that sensors put up, and it's like it's good to have a target to aim for. It's very hard to hit something that's moving at oh god fast. It's like it's actually charging right at us. Like, yes, but we're turning and banking all the time, so I have to keep changing which bank we're using to hit the thing, because it's either the top bank or the bottom bank that we're shooting with. Like, get in range. Let me hit it.
Don't forget the side banks.
And the side banks. Oh god, no. I know we're using that bank now. No, we're doing that bank now, I guess. Okay, I'm gonna guess ahead of the pilot here a little bit. I'm gonna assume this one's gonna be what I'm shooting with. I was right.
Use both pairs of forward banks and the foremost port and starboard banks, ventral and dorsal. Just all sorts of beams.
And I won't spend Leecher on her this time. I might need that as a backup plan. I don't think I'm gonna drop them all in one shot. Plus, I have my second shot anyway for my actual turn.
Sorry, I may have pulled my hand off the thing or not even had it pressed down. So I'll restate myself even if I already somewhat spoke. So they are shaken from that. That's everything except the bonus momentum. Are you going to use the bonus momentum for devastating or added damage?
I spent it for devastating.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a d20 then. That's communications.
So that's 5 to communications.
That is 5.
Probably the worst system we could have hit, but you know, it's still a system.
Well, they are a command ship, so that may gank their ability to call in reinforcements or direct some action somewhere else.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah, narratively, that could impact their ability to conduct the whole battle.
Okay, I think there is an important distinction here between 2E and 1st E. In 2E, it does not indicate that devastating attack is a separate attack. I think it's just indicating that it is more devastating than a normal attack. but it is still the same attack. If that reading is correct, then the shield applying damage to the shields takes this damage into account. So we are not considering that you've done an attack of 10 and an attack of 5. We're considering that you've done an attack of 15. It matters because Shaken does something, shields going down below 25 and 0. It's different if it was from the same attack or a different attack. Because it's from the same attack, they've already suffered Shaken. They get a breach. If this was another attack, they would have just gotten shaken again. So they suffer a breach, and they shields go down to 0. So they suffer a second breach. I believe both go to the same system, which is communications.
Because the second part of the damage was that caused this. Because part of the damage was to engines and part of it was
You
communications.
attacked their. Yeah, I believe you attacked their. You attacked their engines. The attack had a greater impact than you expected and damaged nearby communications components, causing additional breaches. But it wasn't like a second phaser shot.
Right.
Um,
Well, means we destroyed their communications then if they took 2 breaches to comms.
Yeah, I was getting to
They are having a bad day right now. I was kind of hoping to destroy their engines, but I'm glad to do.
I think it. I think it makes
so
sense
anything-
narratively that if we think they're their command ship of this whole fleet, that we blew up their communications array.
Yep.
You're just honored to be
Yeah,
nominated.
they no longer can do anything that would be assisted by communications. It's an automatic fail.
You know what really sucks about losing communications in 2E? You can't do damage control without it. Because that's what communication does.
Because they can't even coordinate the damage
Oh,
control
sorry.
teams to stop other damage.
I correct myself. Communications and engineering can do it. They gave the comms guy an extra thing they get to do.
Yeah,
They're comms
it's
guy.
only
Yeah, I
if
was
it's
about to say.
assisted by comms.
Oh, it's a whole major action. I just never done it. I never needed to. 'Cause
No, that's
engineering
what I
did-
mean. So it may be a comms task, but so long as it's not assisted by communications department, it's still legal.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Fuck me.
So it may be other things are impacted, like command stuff or something as well, because it's the system, not the bridge station.
Yeah. Yeah. Bam, bam.
I believe that goes to them now.
Unless the Captain Swift tasks, but you can't because we don't have any momentum because some idiot spent them all. I'm not sure who it is. I'm not gonna. I think we all know.
Who would do such a thing?
I know, right?
I suspect midnight.
You always suspect midnight.
As
And
you
most
should.
of the time, I'm right.
All right. Well, this turns out to not be good.
The fact that it's their turn, or the fact that we just hurt them a little.
They're pirates. They don't like it when people fight back.
You're
You're not
supposed to
supposed to do
cower
that.
and shiver in fear.
Meanwhile, let's rig some yardarms to hang them from.
Hey, now.
What? They're pirates!
May do that on
Think
Cape,
you'll
but this
hold-
is a civilized Starfleet.
I was
Yeah,
gonna say,
I
we're
think-
Starfleet.
To
Keel
hell with
hauling
Kate, I'm from a
people is-
frontier world that's a water planet. We hang pirates.
Keel hauling seems significantly less ethical in space than in water because you can't breathe in space.
You give him a suit.
Well, but there's also no razor sharp barnacles over a hole in space.
Purposely ramming into the asteroids to scratch them up.
Be a fun episode. Space barnacles are growing on our ship.
Yeah, that would be really good.
Everyone busts out the chisels. We got to scrape off the barnacles.
Right.
They're giving us
That'd
drag.
be a lower decks episode.
Hmm.
The Minox are chewing on the power cables.
We've got to figure out a way to sheath the hull in some sort of copper.
No, we meet aliens that have copper hulls.
I-
It's like, why do they have a copper hull? Space barnacles. Space what?
Yeah, I've had to scrape barnacles before. It's not fun.
Dangerous too. You can get cut up doing that.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, we don't trust the the lower ranks enough that they can use a phaser without like damaging the hull. So they're not using their phasers to do this. They're using physical chisels to do it.
God. Well, they're resistant to phasers, you see.
That would be the excuse right there. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, like you shoot the phaser at them and it like
So-
absorbs the power and reproduces more particles.
Mhm.
This is not their action. This gets tagged onto the end of your last action. But I just was rereading the ability. They have siphoning shields. They spend 2 threat and get shields back equal to their security department.
Oh, neat.
As they like a reserve shield system seems to generate solely powered by your phaser banks. Which is very important because it makes regenerating shields a whole lot easier.
Yeah.
So what happened? They have something that lets them suck power from our phasers to
So
regenerate.
if they get hit by an energy weapon attack, they can spend 2 threat to gain shields equal to their security department. So they did that, and now since they have shields, they're not at 0. They it's only diff 2, not diff 3, to regenerate shields.
But didn't they get hit with photon torpedoes
No.
and not
No,
an energy
he
attack?
shot a phaser.
Yeah.
Phaser banks.
Okay, well we're using torpedoes from here on out.
We might not be because they might recover enough shields that's not good. Torpedoes are great when your shields are low and you know you're getting a breach, because then you get to double tap them. But if their shields are high, like it was at the start, it's you're climbing an uphill to cause even a single breach. Like, we only just barely breached them by using phasers. Torps wouldn't have done it, sadly.
Neither of those are actual complications, but it was enough successes to succeed. So they get shields equal to their engineering department, plus 1 per spend. Oh, plus 2 more per 1.
Or being worst case scenario, we'd be saying 6 plus 1. So they probably, at best case scenario, they're probably at like 7 shields right now. It's probably higher though.
It is higher.
Yeah, well,
Because I just spent threat to on the repeatable.
yep. So it's just doing the math to see if a torpedo shot's worth it. There may be another phaser shot, especially since scan for weakness.
Yeah, as their ship is shaken and their communication system is destroyed, no effort is spared by them to reestablish shields. Okay, so that was Soloris's turn, followed by one of their turns.
Yep.
All right, it goes to y'all. And did I hear? Oh, I thought I heard someone come in. No, there's still 5 of you. I was wishfully thinking Ivanov was here so I could get through it.
So
No, I disconnected and reconnected.
So Cap, I can shoot them again. Torp probably won't do it because they're probably sitting at somewhere in the ballpark of full 7 to 10 shields, rough back then math. So I don't think I'll get the high yield buff. All I can hope for is try to hit them again and cause more breaches. with the phasers. I won't have piercing because scan for weakness is gone. So I'm just so we're just hitting them for 6 if I hit them. I could pull it up to 7 with calibrate.
I say go for it.
All right. So I will, with my regular miner, I'm going to calibrate the weapons to up the damage by 1.
Okay, the normal diff would be 2. Their attack pattern, so it's 1.
Our evasive is still up, so it goes back up to 2.
So it goes back up to 2. Okay.
Same math as before. Known attack patterns because they're still in their attack pattern. And I'll suffer 2 stress to bring it down to
Yes.
essentially diff 1, but we're getting 1 free hit, so I'm just threat checking.
It is diff 1 and you have 1 free hit, yes.
And I want to be able to do as much damage as possible because resistance is a problem again. I might Legion of Honor this shot. That's extra damage. Yeah, firing phasers. And I'll save it for the reroll because I might biff this. I might get, well, yeah, I might get nothing. Bang. Well, I'm gonna have to spend that to quash that, I think. Bang. Oh, go away with you. Cool.
That is a hit with 1 momentum gained, but I see first a complication on you and then a complication on the ship. Do we have any way to roll those dice again?
I'll be really nice to you on Sunday. Bribery? No. No, I will. What I'm gonna have to do is I'll give those both
In
to
comps
you.
or threat?
I'm gonna give them both to you as threat.
Okay. That's unusual. I expected them both as comps here because you're normally keen to keep me at 0 in these situations.
Yeah, I need to up the damage because I right now we're running out of. I need to do as much as I can. So we're doing 6. Versatile. I will. I will Legion of Honor and give myself 2 bonus momentum.
Okay, so we're before anything, we're at 6 damage. You calibrated to make that 7.
Yep.
You're spending now to make that 8.
Yep.
With Legion of Honor. Okay, and Versatile, are we bumping that up to 9?
Are we? Or are we going to shift it into make it devastating, make it 4? Depends on the resistance. I don't know the resistance because I haven't hit them before. If there are scale with nothing bad, 4 will do nothing. 4 will do absolutely nothing to them. So yeah, I'll turn that to 9.
They're like you, their resistance would only actually be 4 if they had really strong structure, but they could go as high as like 5 or something.
Which math-wise, it would turn into like if they have the 1, then it'd be like 1 extra damage. Because devastating attack's great if you have a high number that overcomes the resistance, or you're piercing anyway. So yeah, I'll make that 9.
Okay, so 9 damage.
Is there any way I can pull that up even higher? I don't think so. I think I've done everything that I'm good at.
It is just enough.
Oh, being shaken, didn't they lose something anyway? Just occurred to me.
They lost their major action. Since we've already resolved that, instead of going back, I will take that from their next action.
Yeah.
You're right. I should have done that, but I forgot. Yeah, because I was just redoing, double checking if that's a decision I wanted to make. But yeah, we'd have to undo your attack as well here because they wouldn't have had shields. So it's just, I would, I think it's better to just take that away from them. Next action. So, but they're shaken again. So they have lost the next two major actions. They are already shaken from this attack, so they will get one breach, but they were not brought down to 0, so it's only 1. I don't believe you targeted system, so I need a d20.
10.
That's structure. So they've taken a breach to structure.
Wait, I did this already. I'm making this hard on myself for no reason. Click.
I'm going to have to put that in text on the screen because the NPC ships don't have a convenient place to track that. Oh, I guess communications as well.
Oh, wait a minute.
All right.
Brain. Friggin' the roll earlier to oppose their attack was an opposed task, right? To because of evasive action, and it was failed.
Yeah, you get a momentum from that.
I almost forgot about backup plans because I'm actually thinking of swift tasking, shooting them again.
I was about to say, they have backup plans as well, but I don't think they've failed anything so far.
Well, that's dangerous for the bad guys to have that. That's a great way for you to get threat. Yeah, I'd like to swift task and shoot them again because I assume they're not dead in the water, right? Because we've just been poking at their communications and structure.
They are not. It does not. The area does not matter when you're going for total breaches. It's the number.
Oh.
The number matters on individual areas if you're going to disable that area. So communications 2 matters for communications, but when we're asking, is the ship disabled, you're just trying to hit 5 total because they're 4. So 5 is 1 greater. So 5 breaches to critically damage them where they can no longer function.
Oh, okay. I like that.
6 to destroy them outright.
All right. So I'll swift. Their shields are still up, right? After all that.
Their shields are still up.
Okay. So they have 3. I'm likely gonna cause another breach, I think, math-wise. Aren't I? Or am I? Because we're doing war.
So I think
no resistance.
I think it would be important to ask if your orders are to disable or destroy, because depending on how you spend momentum, you could do either with either system. It's in the depending on how good you roll, it's in the cards for either weapon system. So that would probably be a good question to ask.
I think it's better to, well, yeah. If their shields are, well, I think I'm gonna recommend against torpedoes, even though I was very excited to bring them up, because the problem is I just realized that their resistance is probably 4 or 3. So we'd have to be sure for firing torpedoes, we'd have to be absolutely sure that we're hitting somebody with no shields or with minimal shields, and we knew it was going to drop them. Because if you cause any breach, you cause 2 breaches.
Oh, sorry. I need to spend this because I wanted to spend it earlier, but I can't spend it until the attack is resolved. I can't spend it in the middle of the attack because that would invalidate what percentage of shields you would have taken down.
Oh, you're doing the siphon shield thing? Okay.
I am doing the siphon shields again, which will bring their shields up
By their security.
even by their security. So
yeah, has to be phasers then. It has to be.
As for the orders, I will note that directive is to arrest Queen Tashi and other syndicate members, so that reads to me as take them alive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you're firing so many shots, the ship is maybe going to be destroyed. The captain would order you to pull back.
Yeah. If torpedoes hit now, it would put them at exactly 5. That's the only reason I was considering it, but it's not.
Okay.
Torpedoes are a bad move if their shield's siphoned again. It's they'll survive a torpedo hit.
Yeah, torpedo. They cannot do shield siphon on torpedoes.
Yeah, that'd be the. All right, so we're gonna shoot them again. The diff's up by 1 because I'm swift tasking. I don't have any cool things to counteract that at the moment. So we go. They're still in their attack pattern. So it would have been diff 2 up to diff 3. I'm getting 1 free hit because of known attack pattern. I'm gonna stress myself out by 3 to bring it down to bring the difficulty down.
So you're bringing the diff down to 2, and you have a free hit.
Yeah, so I just need at least 1 free hit to hit them.
Sorry. So the base difficulty is 3, evasive action 4. You have spent to bring it down to 3. So you actually need to spend 4 stress, right?
Attack pattern.
Attack pattern did bring it back. Okay, so we can consider attack pattern and evasive action to cancel each other out.
Right.
So it is diff 3, and you bought down to diff 2 with 3 stress, and then you have a free hit. So diff 2, free hit. Yeah.
I'll save this for the reroll because I might need it. I just need the 1 hit, don't I? Yeah, the extra 2. Yeah. I'll give you a threat point for an extra die.
Okay. Beggars can't be choosers right now.
In the ship. Up security.
Well, I mean, they can. It just won't end well.
I have 2
No, the
threat.
ship
That
is
sucks.
I'm about to spend threat to say there's a saboteur on the ship. In fact, I'm going to do that. You've had so many complications in a row. I'm gonna say the Commodore's alerted that on deck 5 there is a security issue near phaser room 2. Suspected enemy saboteur. That's not going to be your complication. It's just that inspired me to spend my own to do that.
Yeah, it makes sense.
You can still get.
It explains why it keeps freaking happening.
Yeah. So, do you want to?
We don't.
Do you want to
So
give
we
me
don't-
threat or take the complication?
So you saying that we think that there's saboteurs, or that
No,
the
I'm
computer's
saying
giving us this error?
Kaufman speaks up to say that her security personnel are in a firefight with someone suspected of sabotaging phaser room 3.
Okay.
So that will be. Oh wait, it helps. I only needed 1 hit. I got 3, so I generate 2. That is a number of that is
6
6.
starting.
I'll throw the versatile into just extra damage because devastating won't matter. So I'll turn that into 7. I could turn that into 8. I'd have to think if that would be enough to drop them to 0 because I would do 2 hits. I don't know what their shields are at. It's the problem. Well, no. Were their shields out when you did the siphon or no?
No,
Okay, so they had at least 1 or 2.
but they were below 25%.
And they just got the security back, which is... That 1 extra probably isn't enough to make that difference. So yeah, I'll hang on to those 2. So yeah, that is a damage severity 7 attack.
It was 1 more than you needed.
Oh, hooray.
Shields go down to 0.
Whoa.
They get shaken for a 3rd time. And they get a breach.
Nicely done.
I believe that's communications as well. Nope, that's structure. Sorry.
What? God, do we just keep hitting their communication systems?
Structure means that their structure is destroyed. They get no more resistance, I believe. Actually, oh, sorry. I take that back. I don't think, no, it just means anything that requires an assistance from structure fails automatically. They can't do any task that requires the ship to roll using structure.
Mm-hmm.
So it does not remove their resistance.
Oh. They can't do the regular regenerate shields action.
No. But I will spend 2 to siphon. And get some shields back. Because they're pirates. They know the key to avoiding boarding actions is having shields.
Mm-hmm. Just one more poke, and they're going to be dead in space, Captain.
Any devastating attack, or is it passing? Oh, sorry. Once I've spent that threat, I don't think you can do devastating attack because it has to be that I can only siphon shields after you fully resolve. So.
And I wasn't going to devastating anyway because
Okay.
I'm presuming their resistance is high enough it would have soaked it.
Okay, so it goes to them. Oh, hold on. I did not consider resistance for that attack. I was just doing. That is my bad.
No, I was like, holy crap! Their shields were a lot lower than I thought they were. I overestimated them.
In fact, that did not shake them or do an additional breach. It did take some shields down, but no further effect. And I will take back my 2 threat. So I will reconsult you now that I've corrected that before we move too far on. Because I have not siphoned shields yet. They only have what shields that they have shield get from the things I've said.
Yeah, I'll leave the momentum on the table.
Okay.
If I had my GM hat on, I'd force myself to spend the momentum, but I know on a meta level that 2 won't be enough to won't turn that into a breach.
Yeah.
So and that's not just my resource, that's other people's resource. So I won't grab at it. Oh.
They will siphon. Okay. It goes back to them. They can only take a minor action.
Glad I did try torpedoes. Darn. That would have gone very poor. That would have been a waste.
Doesn't it go back to us? Don't they not have a turn?
Well, they can do
No, they don't get their major action. They get their minor.
Yeah, they can still
Okay.
do stuff. Just not anything cool. Now the sexy moves.
That depends on if you're Griffin or not.
It's true, yeah.
I'm sorry, what?
Because we are impulsing away.
Uh-huh.
It goes to y'all.
Well,
just an
So
engineer
who
right
can
now,
go left? Just our engineer? What's our shields like at current? Or our shields still hurt?
We got poked. We're down by 4.
Yeah.
You had. Oh yeah, the doctor did go, didn't he?
Yep.
Okay.
Now,
Okay,
you could
so-
override and torpedo. No, I'm just kidding.
Jeez.
Div 4 shot.
have a
I
look.
believe in you.
I don't have all the magic
yeah, really.
extra damage stuff you do. So okay. I think the basic things I could do, depending on what we need, I can either restore shields. I can create a trait that might help us out. I had been thinking about creating a trait of improved maneuvering thrusters to give Griffin yet another thing to lean on.
Mhm.
I can reroute power into a couple of systems, so we get a crit from the ship next time we use those systems, with the risk of a double complication if anybody comps. So where are we at? What's the big need?
They need.
One thing real quick. I described narratively that complication I spent for earlier. I didn't just describe the effect. Comp range on tasks using weapons are going to be increased crit range.
Okay.
So crit on a 19 for weapons.
Okay.
Sorry, I realized I told you, I gave you the narrative reason, but I didn't tell you what
mechanical weight it had.
What does it actually do?
Okay,
Yeah.
so go ahead.
I mean, I feel like our next action, starting next round, is going to be advance on them and shoot again, probably, right?
I almost think regenerating shields might be good, because if they get us to 50% shields, we lose one of our major.
Yeah.
Our action economy gets bopped.
That's what I was thinking too.
That makes sense.
They're unlikely to escape next round, and then we can push after them. Yeah.
Like, I think I can get their shields down on my turn if I swift.
Mm-hmm. Actually, can they? Their shields are disabled, aren't they?
No.
Can they even use?
No, they have
sorry,
shield.
they're not. I used the wrong word. Their weapon system is disabled, right?
It's
they can't
not.
even. Oh,
It's-
okay.
They have the only thing disabled on that ship right now is communications.
My bad.
Damage structure, disabled communications. Ideally, we don't want to destroy their structure, because that's makes the whole taking a live thing harder.
It's possible. They're not dead.
It's true.
Engines are where people
Just
start
harder.
dying.
Yeah.
we blow up.
Okay,
engines,
so
start
control engineering difficulty 2.
Assisted by
Assisted by-
structure engineering, 2.
Yeah. Deflector systems is a focus.
Oops.
Yes.
This in front of me, don't I?
Don't think any of my traits particularly apply here.
Whoops.
I will note you have the industrial replicator in main engineering. It's technically against orders to use it, but that is something you could call on if you needed to.
Okay. Don't think I'm going to need that here necessarily. Look at the ship, see what we got going on. Warp field, duplex, command sheet. Yeah, so there. All right. So yeah, this looks like just a basic roll here. So I'm going to give you a threat for the third die and bold. Now let's see what we got. There we go.
Structure engineering.
Thank you.
Okay,
Well,
so that's
no hurt.
5 on a diff 2, so 3 momentum gained, and you get shields equal to your engineering department back.
Which engineering department? I think I raised it up to 3.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So can you spend to increase
At a
that?
rate of 1 momentum for 2 shields.
Okay. So how many shields were we down?
We're down by 1 now.
Okay. So yeah, I'll go ahead and spend 1 momentum.
I
that
know
I
in
gained.
1E you could overcharge. I don't know if in 2E you can overcharge.
I don't.
In fact, I
believe
don't think
so.
you can.
Yeah. So I mean, I'll let 1 shield point go floating, but that'll
Okay.
get us back up to full. And
Okay.
we gained 3 there, so that spends 1. So there should be 2 left now for us.
There's 4 on the table.
Oh, I'm not zoomed out far enough. Ah, there we go. Sorry, the joined voice and video thing was
Oh,
covering you up. So
Same thing happened to me a minute ago.
So yeah, I'll spend 1 momentum to get the 2 shields.
Yep.
To get us back up to full.
so put us from 5
Okay.
to 4.
Shields at 100%, Captain.
Bring it. Enter a pursuit course. Aratana, once in range, hit them again.
You have a minor action. I don't know if you want to use it. The only thing I could think you would use it for would be to change position. But I doubt you want to do that.
Oh, engineer. You're main engineering, aren't you?
Yeah.
I think there's a benefit from you doing stuff engineering-wise in there.
Is there?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's always a specific benefit that comes with doing engineering, engineering tasks on ship systems in engineering.
Yeah, each department has each department or console has a thing that it does.
Okay, I need to add that to my sheet so I don't forget it in future.
Page 188. 1 is you're assisted by the ship's computers engineering usually, but unless something calls out otherwise. But also it reduces difficulty of any associated task by 1.
Oh, so we should get an extra momentum for that. Cool. I will put that on my sheet so I won't forget it in future.
Oh, it also means I think you're allowed to do any task from the main bridge without an override.
You just have a comp increase.
Instead of getting a diff increase, you get a comp increase.
Yeah, sweet.
So you actually could do a minor to do something, but it would have increased, I think, your
Well, no, because it would happen after you can do the major or minor in different order, right? Major, you do a thing. Minor, you do the thing that would increase complication. Because it's meant to screw with the action you're overriding.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, actually, no, override's a major anyway. You can't minor override.
Yeah.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. The engineering doing things in main engineering, I don't think you need to override.
Yeah, you don't have to do the override. You just get a comp increase.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I'm adding the math now. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that the minor might come in handy if there was something that needed to be restored as well, because that's a minor. But I don't think I need to change positions, interact, or prepare necessarily.
Okay. Well, you could just let it go.
You could move the ship closer to the enemy.
You could. I mean, I
No
can
sh-
also do that, but
No shit. Hell minor actions.
Yeah.
Impulse. Sure enough.
uh-huh.
Move the ship up to 2 zones anywhere within long range. Yeah, that is a minor action. That's crazy. And
It is, yeah.
there's not a roll,
Yeah.
so I don't think the
Kind of
complication
free,
range
yeah.
thing comes into effect. So yeah, why not? Let's get us back into medium, right?
All right. Then it's going to go to them.
Shields
shaking.
100%, and we are back in range, Captain.
Only get a minor.
Because it's been poked. Yeah. Now we're
Commodore,
calling.
sorry.
Yeah, our captain of the ship.
Yeah.
So tradition.
Yeah.
Dolores has said before that she has no preference. She does not care much for the naval titles of Starfleet and has no preference for if you call her a captain or commodore or ma'am.
What about Sally? Can we call her Sally?
Well, that's not her name, but
It's a nickname. It's, it's endearing, you see. Since you have no preference, I can just...
see, that one
Oh,
would
no.
actually make her annoying.
As her close friend, I get to call her Slow Loris, but other than that-
No.
Loris!
Is that what you say?
God.
Is that what you say when you beat me at 4-dimensional chess?
Yeah.
No, it's 3-dimensional chess, right? It's fourth
Not the way I play it.
chess.
I play chess fourth
It's fourth dimensional
dimensionally.
chess when you're playing the player,
Right.
not the game.
That's still chess. That's still chess. No, I refuse.
What's it? Fifth dimensional chess with time travel?
Yeah.
Temporal investigations keep showing up. Would you
Okay.
stop? The bad guys are doing something.
Dolores has been at so many ranks while being able to be called captain. It's really funny.
Right.
See, the thing is that captain is like rank. Once
Not
upon a time.
anymore. No. Soloris's rank is Commodore. End of the last season, right? You were promoted to the actual flag rank of Commodore.
Oh, yeah, I know that, but I was just going to say captain historically referred to so many different positions and ranks in militaries that it was very easy to go your whole career, multiple different titles still being called captain.
I mean, yeah, captain. It means the same thing in every place it shows up, which is someone who leads a small unit.
Mhm.
But
or a whole task group
Yeah.
or whatever.
But yeah, I think the formal title is Commodore, but culturally and with Soloris' style, I think it's pretty common. People just call her captain.
the only admiral you can do that without getting in trouble.
I mean, Griffin's just called her ma'ams from the outset and has never had to worry about it.
I thought that was
there you
cute.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've had completely different authority problems.
Eraton's only fussy about his title because regulation says he's supposed to be. It's like, I really would just... You could just call me Eratana. I don't care. But I know Starfleet regs care, and I get in trouble if I don't make you get in trouble. Which is dumb, but whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Freaking naval traditions.
Since I don't need communications officer, I'm gonna buy an extra minor
And shoot the communications office.
and move stations and impulse.
Mm-hmm.
Revere's gone. I think it just goes back to them. You've used you swifted. I mean, you acted before them enough that they still have one action left.
Yeah, because we've done all our turns. 5, yeah.
Yep, checks out.
All right. Not all is lost, as Queen Tashi says. They're here to make a deal with the Klingons. Klingons might still show up, so everybody keep in your station. She's gonna attempt a rally. She is going to use the value "Those who defy me die," as no one on the bridge is really willing to get Latinum to the artery. Focus intimidation. And the trait queen will give a free hit.
I forget, do they like completely replace all the blood with Latinum or
Yeah.
just enough to kill?
Just enough to kill, which is any amount.
I mean, yes, but
Yeah, your blood doesn't do well with heavy metals.
Yeah.
Uh,
Instead of your blood alcohol
is-
level, the cop is testing you for your blood Latinum level.
Speak for
5
yourself,
hits.
Moses. Got Christopher Lee
jeez.
booming in engineering as we speak.
And I will use 3, 4, 5. Oh, sorry, I'll only use 4 of that so far. As the house ship Tamleth shows up, I owe you 2 more. Okay, then they don't show up.
To be fair, they'd keep the threat because it would be an illegal threat spend. It'd be like, you don't have enough to do the thing you want. Because there's some jerk in the room that's making it hard.
Let me recalculate. So I believe there was 1 threat on the table. I believe she had spent determination, had a trait, and got 2 successes, which is 5. I think I do have enough.
Yeah, if you were at 6, then yeah, you'd have
Yeah.
just enough to summon a scale 4 baddie. As long as you don't
The
have
thing
any
is,
hero people over there.
the heroes are here, but we're assuming they are busy commanding other ships until I spend to have them become active.
Present, but not narratively relevant.
Yeah. Busy directing a fleet combat.
So Kaufman, or actually, I will say, because Kaufman's not at sensors, Dr. Lieutenant Jiva notices a hostile Klingon D7 on extreme range sensors.
Captain, Klingon D7, extreme range, picking them up just at the edge of the system.
I was wondering when they were going to show up.
Time for a Vulcan hello.
Sorry, I was chewing. Slorus is going to say, understood. Do we have their heading? Are they approaching us?
Geo?
That would require
That requires a task roll. I can wait for an answer till.
Yeah,
That's fine.
There is a task roll for general sensor sweep to ask information.
Okay.
All right, that's fine. Okay. It's Argo. Has Has anyone gone?
No, it
last?
goes to the top of the round, and
Okay.
they did go last, so you do go first.
So yes,
Okay.
we do go.
Okay. My thought is we don't want them to escape, and they're one hit away from being dead in space. So let's move over there and then attack and then disable them and then turn around and deal with the Klingons next round or next turn.
Yeah, we need to finish the fight with who we have right now.
Yeah.
So they can't turn
So
around
why
and come back at us.
So why doesn't Griffin advance us into close range and then we keep an eye direct Eritana to start shooting?
Might not be terrible for her to take a shot as a Swift. Just to poke them that little bit, because I think we need.
Mhm.
I think we need more than their scale. We need 5 to actually disable them.
Okay.
All right, so Griffin, you're taking minor impulse.
Yep. All minor
So
impulse.
your evasive action and their attack pattern are no longer relevant
No,
because they did move.
Oh, they did move. Yeah.
Oh, he did move. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He moved before Revere went. So y'all haven't shot at him since their con officer went.
Right. So minor to impulse, and then I'm going to. I think the plan is override, fire, swift, evasive.
Okay, so your override, unless you have something else, is going to make this a difficulty 3.
Just a second. I do have something for it, but I think it doesn't impact the task.
Well, it might, because you're flying and stuff.
In a while, yeah.
I think it lets you use con.
Oh yeah.
It brings
Swift
down the diff.
does not increase the difficulty.
Okay, no, that's Swift task. This is override.
Yeah, this is override. I don't have anything for override except for being able to use my con for it.
Okay, so it is diff
cool.
3, but you can use your con.
That's cool.
Yep. I have a multitasking talent.
Mm-hmm.
Like as long as I do a con action, my other action just uses con.
Nice. Which makes sense. You're basically doing fighter pilot thinking rather than naval combat thinking.
Exactly.
And I would take Brazen here because I don't believe Soloris ordered you to do this.
No, she ordered the ship to advance fire, but she didn't order me to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're firing on your own initiative.
Yep.
So I will give you that.
All right, so brazen to headstrong. I'm still flying like a fighter pilot, despite the fact I'm flying a scale 4
Yeah, you're on
flagship.
You're on
No, because this ship was built as close to a warship as Starfleet's willing to allow. And part of that is this is currently the fastest serving ship. So the extreme maneuvers are the Thralick's bread and butter.
Yeah, it does do these kinds of head-on pursuits.
Doesn't usually have its con officer firing the phasers though. Combat maneuvers focus.
Yeah, I do really like the idea that Griffin calculated and is like, it's possible Eritana doesn't disable them. So if I give them a little one tap and he can deliver the final blow, and everyone else is like, what? You shot?
Sorry, no, you may be shooting the phasers from hell, but this is not combat maneuvers now.
Okay.
You would need ship or weapons or phasers.
Yeah,
or something like that. Okay.
Wow, casual.
Yeah, I know.
Learn
Control
to play,
security.
Yep.
Get good. Other millennial gaming things to say.
I'm sure that would impact me much more if I were a millennial.
The last true gaming generation. Ugh. Anyway.
The Orions want to hail you and yell scoreboard, but also, that would be a bad thing to yell because they're the ones losing right now.
I'll spend 1 momentum for a third die.
That's really dumb.
Scoreboard. Amazing.
Yeah.
Scoreboard.
Alright, so that's 5 hits.
Ooh.
Are we done rolling complications?
No.
No.
Y'all have
apparently.
an increased comp on the weapons, and that's not even using that. That is just
Yeah, it's
another.
20.
So threat or comp?
I feel like it's got to be threat here.
Yeah, because comms can really screw us right now. Everything's
Yeah.
very precarious for us.
Mm-hmm.
Threat's not great, but in this
So-
instance, complications can get us killed.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So that's a phaser shot.
I believe that's. So that was
6.
4 successes on a diff 3. Oh no, that's 3 successes on a diff 3.
So on
5
button.
successes on a diff 3.
Oh,
Because I had
brazen,
2 from
yes.
brazen. Yeah.
So
Right.
2 momentum gained. And
So right now we're looking at 6 alone.
that does do damage to the shields, but does not do any breaches.
Yeah, versatile 2.
Oh.
That could up it by 1 damage. Because devastating won't help you.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll up it by 1 with a versatile 2 then.
That makes them shaken.
Okay. Do we want to spend any more off the table?
The most
Get
you could
2
do is an
more?
additional 2 more damage.
Yeah.
I don't. We may be better served using that for a follow-up attack.
Okay.
I don't think we can
that
zero
makes
them
sense.
out in this shot alone.
We need to keep one anyways in order to let me direct.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'd only be spending 4 off the table, so we'd still have 1. But
I am going to spend this 2 as the Klingon ship has entered space. The camera cuts away to show Jodator walking onto the bridge and taking.
You owe me 2 more.
Oh my god!
Because it's per reinforcement, so.
oh, it's so funny.
Okay, I don't do that.
Kind of gets
Yeah,
this
so I
gut
think that's
feeling that the enemy commander's is probably going to be available anytime soon. It's like, we might want to hurry. You mentioned over the bridge did.
yeah. So zip in, fire, and then swift. Do we have a free swift right now? No, we have a free keep right now.
Yeah.
But you don't get the difficulty increase from Swift, right?
Correct, but I do still have to spend to
Yeah.
do so.
Yeah.
And it still would be diff 3 because you're overriding.
Where are we
No.
getting diff 3 from?
If you're shooting the weapons, you overrided. This is Swift, not keep, right?
Right.
Yeah, this is swift, but I'm not going to shoot again.
Okay, if you're not going to shoot again, then no, you don't get a diff increase.
Yeah, no diff increase from that. I'm not shooting again. I'm just reactivating evasive action with my swift.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we need.
No, it's literally zip the ship. We hold stable for like 3 seconds. Griffin fires phasers and then goes evasive again.
Okay, are you keeping or not?
We
That's
should.
up to table. Okay, yeah, let's.
So who goes next?
Do you want to play Aratana?
I would think Captain directing me.
Yep.
Yeah,
Sorry.
good.
All right. So,
How much is Dolores shaken?
yeah, the captain sees the phaser and like she does like a glance at Aratana, realizes Aratana hasn't fired it, and then says, "Good initiative, Ensign Griffin. Aratana, follow her up."
Oh yeah, order me to do it after she's banking the thing to hell and back. Yes, Commodore.
Okay, so it was a momentum just to do this direct.
Yep. And I'm going to burn my second instance, my cluster of the Christopher Pike Medal of Valor, to make that an automatic 1 again.
Cool.
So it is normally diff 2. Evasive action has made this a diff 3.
I will consider my career in life.
Mhm.
And I will note they are not doing an attack pattern, so the trait you were previously using no longer applies.
Yeah. And the other ones don't make sense for this, because the other ones are faint tell, they're not evading right now. And tactical data is
Yeah.
more for boarding and stuff, really.
I believe both of those are more for fleet combat anyways. They might apply here, but they were designed with fleet combat. I think
Yeah.
you designed them with fleet combat in mind.
I won't use my extra minor because I don't need to calibrate rate this second, do I?
But do you need a targeting solution?
That's just it, do I? Calibrating for 2 makes no. I calibrate for 1. So for 1, I can get 1 extra damage right now. Because I'm buying a minor. Yeah, I'll buy a minor for 1.
Okay.
And I'll calibrate the weapons, so I will be doing 1 extra damage. The diff 3 you said. I will suffer 3 stress. Ow. Bringing it down to diff 2. I'm going to spend toward the value. Sometimes force is required to enforce compliance. We're trying to arrest them and they're trying to evade us. And it's going to require force to get them to stop their illegal actions in Federation space.
And I needed to double check this. It is 2 extra threat in total, not per reinforcement. So if I introduce 2 people at the same time, it's only 2 threat.
Yeah.
Not 4 extra. Okay. That's not what was happening earlier, but the way you said it made me like, oh, this may be way too expensive. What I need to do. Okay. So please describe to me.
The reading was 2 extra threat in total, not per reinforcement. So yeah. It's exactly. It's exactly that.
Okay. What were you saying you were doing before?
Oh yes, I was spending my determination toward sometimes force is required to enforce compliance.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm rolling a single die. That should be more than enough here. Plus the ship. Up. Thankfully 16's too low. I got 2 from the captain, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hits. On a task 3, I believe. Because we're evading.
Yes. 3 momentum gained. The question: did you spent to do targeting solutions? Is what you bought an extra minor for that?
Caliber weapons to do 1 extra damage.
Okay.
So this is a 7 shot so far. Which versatile, I'll push it up to 8. I'll spend 2 more to push it up to 9.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Their shields are down. That is another shaken as well as a breach. So roll me a d20.
Right in the 13.
That is another structure.
Ooh, that's not good.
Now their structure's destroyed.
Their structure is destroyed. All right. Any minor from the captain or a swift task from the captain?
Nope.
All right. Any keep?
We've already kept once for free. We'd have to spend to keep again.
Actually, you've already kept in a row. You can't keep now.
Okay.
See what you could do, Cap. You could swift and take a shot now.
No. I have a security of 2.
Yeah, no.
I'm the captain of a warship, but only because I'm good at delegating the actual shooting to other people.
Yeah. Hey, makes sense. Came up from the engineering ranks, so why the hell would you know how to shoot things any more than I know how to fix things? Ugh. I'm sitting on something. Get out there. Shoo. How have I done this? There. That moment when you push your wheelie chair onto something and get it all tangled up.
Oh.
Oh yeah. No.
So I was kind of stuck for a second. I was able to move, like, ah.
We're going to minor impulse. And it goes back to you.
Now for my actual shot, I can probably disable them. I might actually end up blowing them up. I don't know how to prevent that. If I shoot their shields are down right now. GM.
Their shields are down.
Yeah, I hit them.
Klingons off for starboard bow.
I hit them. Oh, do we? Is it one breach when you hit someone with no shields at all? Or is it two? Two is different. That's why I'm asking.
No. So the only way to cause multiple breaches in one hit is either high yield or you take them from more than 50% to 0 in one hit.
Okay.
Since they're already at 0, you can't do 2 breaches without torpedoes.
Yeah, so I can take the shot now and disable them and put them out of the fight, Captain.
Go for it.
We are, since I'm not as worried about severity, I just want to make sure I don't miss. My actual minor, I'm going to get a targeting solution, and I'm going to get so I can have the the free reroll of a d20.
All right.
We're still at an increased difficulty because
You're at diff 3.
I'll suffer 3 more stress. That's the last time I can do that until I get some medical assistance or healing, or just time away from this combat.
Yeah, a sandwich.
I'm gonna need a beer after this. Now, so yeah, it diff 2. Have a reroll. I am going to star cross this roll, so I'm doubling my crit range. So it's not 4, it's 8.
All right.
Watch that not work. Because it never has. I will buy a die with momentum. And I need 2 hits. Bang. And bang. That 5 is actually a crit because of Starcross. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 hits.
1 momentum gained.
You mean 2?
Oh, yeah, you brought it down. 2 gained. Roll a system.
7.
Sensors. And their ship is disabled.
Do you report that to the captain?
Do I? No, I do.
Mhm.
Ship dead in space. She's adrift.
Understood. Leave her be. Helm bring us about to face that Klingon ship.
Hi, ma'am.
Now the Commodore can scare them.
I could Swift. There's nothing for me to Swift to do right now because we don't need to talk to them yet. I don't need to listen to anything. Nothing to shoot at yet. Because yeah, we can't shoot at them right now anyway. Even if I wanted to, they're too far away. My turn is
that
done.
extreme.
I know that's really plier. I'm not doing that. They can't even talk to the Orions because their communications are down.
You were gonna have to signal them through light flashes or something.
Even then, yeah, someone would have to be looking at a window and going, it's Klingon Morse code. Oh, yeah, everyone familiar with that?
You're the communications officer. You better be.
Yeah, gun to head, you better be.
Sorry, that little crying sound at the end got me.
I just took correspondence courses. Yeah, Narraton's already had his murder trigger a few episodes ago. He's not facing it again, especially since there's a lot of people who could totally stop him from shooting. Narratively speaking.
Stop! Don't shoot! Stop! Don't kill the bloody pirates who have tried to exterminate my entire species and then gave us yet another disease that infected my ship.
Wrong enemy.
No.
That wasn't. They weren't involved in that at all.
They
yeah,
could
that
be,
was
though.
the Romulans.
That was the
It
Romulans.
could be. You don't know.
They could be
You
involved.
don't
They're
know.
part of the criminal
I
trade.
do know.
See,
You say
can't take
that.
away
You would
from
say
me.
that.
You can't
Fine,
gaslight
fine.
me into giving
Yeah.
up authorship.
Oh no! Don't kill the pirates who created a deadly plague that affected both people and my ship. Don't kill them. Don't kill
Actually,
these
I take
murderous.
that back. I was getting that confused with another episode. They did, in fact, do that.
Yes.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes, who are willing to sacrifice their own people. Yes, don't, whatever you do, don't kill them. Stop. Oh, stop.
I'm sure the Klingons are thrilled to walk into a fight that's already losing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We were hoping you were gonna hold out for like a turn when we arrived. Friggin' weak
Yeah.
Orions.
Yes.
We wanted this to be an
Also-
unfair fight.
There's a reason it's called a destroyer.
Yeah.
Although we really need to up the weapons.
Mhm. I don't know. Having like everything at a 3 is kind of funny, except for medicine, which is at a 1. Sorry, doctor.
We're pretty much a multi-roll by Fiat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or, by me, yeah. I said it right the first time.
Yeah. All of our extra hitting capability pretty much comes from talents of the legendary officers.
Yeah, but we're not the legendary ones. That's the people under us.
Yeah. We're just kind of normal.
Yeah, we're the normies here.
Oh wow. That explains why Solaris and Revere are so cool. If you guys are the ordinary people,
Oh, so you must be playing superior or what are they called? Extra supporting characters or something, whatever they're called.
You're
Supervising.
You're in and out.
Am I though, or are you just
Supervising,
choosing
right.
to not hear me?
So, you'll know when I choose not to hear you.
Sorry, you were cutting in and out. What was that?
What black comment? I don't see anything. Seriously, Commodore, this might be a chance for you to just go social conflict and see if you can't
You might be
stamp
able to
your,
get the Klingons.
stamp your
Yeah,
foot at them.
that was
They're
going
gonna
to be
beat you to the
plan.
punch. They're gonna hail you.
Okay,
Mm.
on screen.
On screen, you see a Klingon captain you have never met before.
His name's Jeff.
He says, Starfleet vessel, do not interfere. We are moving to provide assistance to a disabled vessel. If you interfere, we might be forced to defend ourselves.
He is going to say, you were speaking to Commodore Soloris in command of the destroyer USS Frolic, who is currently engaged in anti-piracy actions against a ship that has committed crimes against the Federation and her people, and whose crew have active warrants out for their arrest pursuant the Federation Department of Justice. If you interfere with our lawful right to conduct arrests within our own territory against our own known criminals, we shall be forced to engage in hostilities. As I do not wish to engage in hostilities against you, for I know you shall be destroyed, I strongly recommend you cease your current actions.
You value your lives. Be somewhere else.
Exactly.
Delin.
I believe I'm the attacker here because I'm making the demand, so they roll first.
No, they attacked you.
Yeah,
Okay.
they initiated the contact.
All right. So I roll first.
Is there one?
Hold on 1 second.
Okay.
GM's fighting the social rules.
Be Gary Oldman and the professionals and spend everything. Everything.
I love the story is the fact that that's basically like a one-off, somewhat silly take. They did a bunch of shots for that, and then apparently he just did that as a sort of like I'll give it a whirl, see if it happens, and it's like he thought it was silly and over the top, and they weren't going to use it. It was just going to be on the cutting room floor. Like no, that's the one. Out of all the cuts, that's the one we're going for.
Apparently, he did it to make Luc Besson laugh, which he did, but then Besson liked it, and so they kept it. God, what a great actor.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to say this is an opposed intimidation.
Right.
I'm going to give them a free hit because you have encountered the Tamleth before, and you are aware. In fact, I think you can see its sheet. Oh, you cannot see the details of its sheet.
Yeah, so take that.
Let me think if I should give you that, because I don't know if you know everything about it. I will say you know that it has a battle-hardened crew who've been through a civil war and much more before that. You know it has resistance 4, and it is a purpose-built warship. So for those reasons, they will get a free hit.
Okay.
As in an intimidation task, difficulty can be increased based on the relative strengths of each side. So you're defending. You roll first.
Okay.
Three on the board.
Yep. I'm looking.
So in a social conflict, does it work the same way where,
There's
okay, say,
different types of social conflict. It depends on whether you're doing deception, evidence, intimidation, or negotiation. There are like 4 different things that have slightly different rules.
okay, but I was just wondering, like, so does it work like in combat, in physical combat, where, okay, you are the defender, you win the roll, but then you have to spend to counterattack?
No, whoever wins the roll puts a trait on the other person, and it continues until someone gives up.
Fair enough.
DM. Can I argue for the value? My word is law. On the grounds that I am using my personal authority here, enforcing a Federation judicial warrant. Therefore, literally, my word is law here.
Because what you're doing is legal. Like you have the force of Federation law.
Yes, it doesn't matter whether they think that's true or not. From your perspective, that is true.
And can I do a call back to I believe this was the Legacy of Blood, where I used it to humiliate the male soother.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I'm once again trying to humiliate someone in a social conflict. Great.
Yes. You called back to that a bunch. This is an arc or?
I'll check it after.
In fact, I know you've called back to that before. You shouldn't be calling back to that. You should be calling back to whatever you called back to that on.
Right. I think I missed a notation there. All right. I'll worry about it after. Presence command. Presence command. Login encyclopedia.
I can write that down. I'm thinking about it because I should have noted down my spend earlier. Anyway, if I forget to do it, I won't remember to do it later.
Yep.
Hell, I still have a thing for Latinum Fever Part 2 I never really resolved, but it wasn't even a... It was a log.
Yeah, my note was wrong here.
Two. Compliance. Used heavy ship center.
Right. In Latinum Fever, I use leads from the front. Can I call back to that? On the grounds that I am leading an engagement from the front.
Yes, that's fine.
All right. Presence command. I spent my determination, so that's not a map 2. Great. Renowned Starfleet officer. Does that factor for anything with Klingons?
No.
Okay. Commanding presence. Does that factor for anything with Klingons?
No. No, I believe I'm going to let his trait warrior handle that because
Right.
Klingons are used to posturing from enemy commanders. It's not
All right.
something a Starfleet officer may be familiar with, or like an Orion may be familiar with, but this is par for the course for Klingon combat. You're going to yell at each other a little bit before you fight.
Mhm. And I'm sure I'm not the only Starfleet officer who engages in this cultural tradition with them. All right. The focus in rhetoric. I know how to structure arguments with Klingons before because I've done this many times.
I will take that, yes.
All right.
Suggestion?
Yeah.
I bet you have the mental discipline talent.
I sure do.
There is an argument to be made here that you could suffer some stress to avoid being freaked out by the enemy because you're a Vulcan.
GM, would you accept that to essentially counteract his warrior trait?
Oh no, his
Not warrior,
trait
but the very top, the very first thing of he's a big scary warship, and you could be I don't care.
Oh.
Oh no.
Because it's a fear factor, and Vulcans can ignore fear for 2 stress.
Vulcan could eat a whole tank of worms.
That's a good question because it is perceived stress threat. So part of it is that even if Solora suppresses it even if she takes the emotional side away from it, she still knows they have a stronger ship. That's not an emotional reaction. She knows by the numbers it's true. So like if it was a potency 2, I may by bringing that down to potency 1 because it's like overblown how much, but in a completely logical way, they do have a stronger ship than you even if you strip all emotion away from it. So I don't think that would help here.
All right. But you were thinking of using it for warrior, but I don't, because the thing is, it has to be an emotional state. That's how it calls.
Yeah, no, and he's basically not being intimidated by the fact that you're a commanding presence because he's a warrior who's used to enemy commanders saying things at the beginning of battles, and he just ignores it, right? So,
sorry, Cap.
All right.
I had it.
You're fine. Presence command. We're going to spend 3 momentum and 3 threat, and we're going to roll 4. So that's 2, 3, 4, 6. Plus 2 is 8. Beat 8.
Oh, did you spend momentum there? Sorry.
Yeah, 3 momentum, 3 threat.
Roger. Ah. This is just some dude as well. The 3rd officer or whatever. Other guys are busy doing a bunch of...
You gain 5 momentum.
As he goes, angry Vulcan, fuck me.
Look, part of diplomacy is learning to speak the language of the people you diplomat with. If they respond to aggression, we give them aggression.
The people you diplomat
so
with?
The task was failed, so they get a threat.
Oh.
And I will spend all of that as Jo Detour and her ever faithful Dahar master walk onto the bridge I did spend enough threat to cover Corbinian.
You did, yep.
Or, sorry, Aratana.
Me as a player as well. I just have that as a... It's called being an annoying rules lawyer.
You have applied a negative trait to the third officer. She walks on the bridge with the Dahar Master and scolds the third officer while the feed is still live, saying, "Fool, you do not speak for us." And she will shoot him with her disruptor and then push him out of the chair and close the communication.
Great.
They have one less bridge officer now, so that's a good sign. Well, they have a new third officer, but they're new to the third officer role.
And hey, I mean, anyone who's on the bridge who saw that we are tough, intimidating, and we are not backing down.
Mm-hmm.
That was a free action because it says hailing other ships is a free action. It's not something you actually use your major for. But he was killed, so I think that major action and minor action are just gone.
Well,
like it was still his turn.
A minor action, but he actually did a roll. He tried to engage in a social conflict.
No.
Okay.
No. Sending a hail can be done as a free action and can be responded to by a hail received from another vessel or facility.
Okay.
So there is no starship combat task, major action or minor action for hailing or talking.
Okay.
Because it's not always going to be a social conflict.
Right.
I mean, but y'all can use that too. Like, right, if y'all hail someone and they actually pick up, it's a free action. It's just generally you're on the side that wants to talk and the other people are on the side who aren't going to answer. This is one of the few times someone else has called you and said, "Don't shoot."
No, we are. Normally, we're the ones who say, "Please, please, we want a peaceful solution to this," and they say, "Screw off, we're going to fight you." Now it's the rare inverse of that.
All right, it goes to y'all.
Okay, so who's gone this round? I have. And Griffin has. Did you go or did I direct you? No, and then we went again.
Yeah.
Okay. So the only people left are Ensley and Temsic. Okay.
I've been muted for like the last 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Do you want a tissue or
I just realized that I've been muted for like the last 20 minutes.
You've been trying to speak? Oh, oof.
Like, I mean, I haven't said much. It's just been like the occasional interjection, like the the occasional bit, but like
yeah, I get that.
So many good bits were lost.
Yeah, I've definitely done that where like I make an offhand joke and then no one responds to it, and I'm like, damn, tough crowd tonight, or damn, maybe that wasn't funny, and then I realized I was muted.
Yeah,
absolutely.
For me, it was like the last half hour.
Okay.
Geez.
So what do y'all want to do? The doc or the engineer or someone they control?
Rules of engagement. We can shoot at them, right? They've invaded our space. We're in a shooting war with these guys. Well, with this particular house, not with the Klingons as a whole.
Because
their fighters have attacked our ships.
I gave them pretty express orders to stand down if they are not standing down.
Yes. I would have called it into question with this specific ship, because this specific ship has not engaged any Starfleet vessels, and so it wasn't known whether this specific ship was hostile. But that burden has been met, so you are free to engage.
Mm-hmm.
You still are under under orders to prefer detainment. Like there's no kill order here.
So scan for weakness may not be a terrible thing to do.
I say I was thinking you scan for weakness because that way we're going to have to hit them soon and we're going to need all the help we can get to hit them hard.
Yep.
Scanning time. How much momentum do we have to spare?
5 on the table.
I did a real good job arguing with Klingons. I thought it was a pretty good argument.
In fact, this difficulty is 6 right now, so it is impossible. You are too far away.
Huh?
Mm.
It is +1 for each category beyond close. It's in the blurb text.
Oh, it's in the
on
blurb
304.
above it because
It is.
why
Mhm.
contain things
So-
in easy to read manner. Yeah, no.
Oh, sorry. It 1, 2, 3. No, it's only it is only diff 5, so it is technically possible.
It is possible.
Oh,
Temsic, do you think you have a shot at it? Because I don't want to burn resources if it's a long shot. Go ahead, Aratana.
the solution. Oh wait, can we do this? I was just gonna say we could launch a probe. I don't know if we can launch probes.
Why would we not be able to launch probes?
You have probes
We have
fired
torpedo
from
tubes.
torpedo tubes. You can
Oh,
launch
right.
probes. You can't launch small craft.
That's what it is. Because if you launch a probe, if you get it into within long range of you fire long range, so 3 zones away. Now you're just 1 zone away from them, and then you scan from the probe for scan for weakness. So the difficulty is way lower.
This can be
Yeah.
done.
That turned into 2 tasks.
No, minor,
No,
major.
launch probe is minor.
Yeah, it just means that I can't benefit from my reroll.
Calibrate, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know,
you can
probably
always
worth it
buy
to
an
drop a
extra
difficulty by
minor.
that much. Also that.
Could buy another minor, yeah. Minors
Okay.
are cheap.
Yeah, and we
So
have
Context
launching a probe?
matters for anyone listening.
Yeah. Minimum wage laws don't apply to children, which is why they're great for the coal mines.
Plus, their
Children
tiny
yearn for
hands
the
are great for
mines.
stealing.
Control science difficulty 2, assisted by sensors security.
Because they're children, they generally can't join you.
Ooh-wee.
Historically, lots of people couldn't join unions.
You know, that's true.
Gonna spend
Not
a
even all that
momentum
historically.
Yeah.
gonna spend a momentum for a 3rd die. Do we want me to spend
I don't
for
know,
another
the-
minor
the-
action to calibrate?
Yeah,
The
why
Brotherhood
not?
for
Yeah.
police officers has always been around, so someone could always use their eyes.
So I will spend another for another minor action to calibrate,
All right.
just so that I have a reroll.
Okay.
Didn't need it.
Sweet.
2 momentum gained.
You almost rolled another 20.
Piercing quality, because I can add +2 to my attack anyway.
Cool. Looks like they're leaving themselves open. Looks like whoever was just on that bridge wasn't following proper pre-combat procedures.
Yeah, there's a gap
And
in the
it
shield
doesn't-
grade. I see it.
Yeah. Doesn't look like the ship's original captain is noticed yet.
Take us in. Security, develop a firing solution. Do not fire until my order.
Acknowledged.
Understood.
Yeah, so I don't think we're going to keep, because I don't think it's worth it to force our engineer to do something right
No.
away. Because they're going to get a bunch of turns anyway, so the engineer might get to react to whatever they're doing. They have a few turns ahead of us because they just jumped into the fight, so. Or maybe they have less turns than this. I don't know. Maybe the GM's super nice and cool like that and wants an extra magic item on Sunday. I don't know.
No, you removed a lot of the enemy's turns. Not any of the enemies that can act right now.
Yeah.
But you removed all the turns of the enemies who had already acted by disabling their ship.
Yeah, that's true. That's just called being good, though.
Get good.
Oh, the
Get-
skill
get-
diff, actually.
Get good.
If they
Get-
wanted
get-
to have a turn, they should have designed a ship that didn't get disabled when hit with repeated rounds of phaser and torpedo fire.
This is how you get a board cube dropped on you.
Mm-hmm.
Get ratioed.
Not enough threat.
No
Right,
T
right.
stats for it yet.
Also
no
that
stats for the board cube? That's insane.
I know
Oh.
this. It's insane.
That's because
It's
they're
in the base
redesigning
book
all
of the
their
first
things.
game, isn't it?
They're redesigning all the
guess.
stuff because it has to be. They have to get rid of challenge dice and stuff like that. So I understand the logic.
Yeah.
Well, and also because they have to have new splats to sell new
Right,
books.
yeah,
Because they've already covered all the big ones.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
I mean,
gotta
they
sell more
have
books.
like, I don't. We went over it, and the conversions were not perhaps the most thought through, but they did release a conversion for the command book stuff.
A free conversion too. They didn't make us buy a whole new book. So.
Exactly. So maybe they'll follow along that line, and it'll just be we get free stuff that isn't as good.
No, it's not in the game toolkit either, although that's where they stuck the Vorcha and the Mogai.
Consistency.
Wait, I forgot they
in
put like
design
unique
and
stuff in
placement of
there.
information is like
Dotator is going to use the value our house cannot suffer failure.
He's not wrong.
I'm pretty sure their house is suffering from failure right now.
They're
Not
going
when
up
they
against
get rid of
Savgita.
that annoyance, that minor house of no good, ingrate failures of Savgita.
Hey,
How
jump the
is that
river of
going for
lava.
them?
Jeez, tell us how you really feel.
We will see
no,
how
they
that
actually
plan
feel
works
positive.
out. Somebody's going to get their liver eaten on their own bridge.
That's a weird
While they're
chant.
watching?
Dutch prime minister. How could that happen?
It sounds better than the original Klingon.
It's more poetic.
Yeah, okay, I'll give you that.
Oh god, I bet Klingons have like a Shakespeare equivalent where there's something they always reference, and all Klingons are like, yeah, everyone references that stupid opera.
Yeah, it's called Shakespeare.
Cry havoc! Christopher Plummer.
Two to
It
Swift,
I love the
one to
low.
direct. Helm moves us forward 2. What does Helm want to do as their major? What was Helm ordered to do as their major?
Evacuate the air from the bridge. Now they're the captain.
Lower all
Look
shields?
at me.
Summon their pet crystalline entity?
No.
Go for it. They'll take themselves out too, and we should totally leave because that will kill us.
Loud incorrect buzzer.
The big reg X.
Yep.
But unfortunately, Winchester reached over and hit the gold button, so, got canceled out. References to very bad shows. Hooray. All the damage that's done to the music industry. All of the damage. Let's train a bunch of people to over-sing and lose any sense of individuality. Hate those shows so much.
Yay.
Weird aside, apparently they had a Disney attraction that you could sing your way into the competition.
Yeah, I watched. There's a good channel that does on YouTube that does
The Funk Bench, yeah.
things about
he's
theme
great.
parks.
Mhm.
Yeah, and he did one about that.
Yeah.
Yep.
The one bit in the Garfield log fume ride, if you know the bit, you know what I'm talking about. It's the funniest thing I've ever seen. Oh my god!
Such a weird ride.
Oh, I mean, I only check out his videos like once a year because he only puts out like 2 a year.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I watched through his entire catalog, almost his entire catalog. There's some of his early stuff I haven't touched yet.
The craziest one was where he tracks down a dude who did something for he did 2 or 3 notes on the beginning of a Disney kids.
Jingle.
You worry about a person who puts that much effort.
Right. Right.
All right. I was trying to run a game.
Hey, keep going. I'm just filling air. Old radio habit. Like, we could be talking about what's coming up next in the music roster, or we need to buy time to switch it over. So we're going to talk a bit about, I don't know, how about that hockey game the other
Whatever
night?
you
Just
want.
random stuff.
Yeah.
Helm Officer will attempt to create a trait.
Oh, you have to be 2 more for that. No, I'm just kidding.
How much threat is it to ban Corbinian from the server?
Oh, not as much as you'd think.
I
mean,
know.
It's like
It
5
depends on
US
how much.
an admin.
Yeah, how much do you have to bribe the admins?
Yeah.
Not a lot.
Yeah. I mean, hey, we can have an impromptu admin meeting right now.
Hey, hold on.
That's not enough.
I'll take to Reddit. Don't make me.
We only need a couple more people for a full quorum, and
Oh.
then expulsion is
Alright.
2/3 of a vote.
Reddit? Really? That's the threat? Reddit?
God.
Deep cut. Anyway.
Uh-huh.
Or Helm Officer is probably not going to have a long career, though, because they failed.
He gets a threat, though.
Right, because he failed.
Yeah.
Doctor, it's all on you, I think.
Nope. Engineer.
I already went.
You
Engineer.
already went. Engineer, it's all on you.
Okay, I defeat the Klingons.
Okay,
Oh,
did
good.
you
Why
override
didn't you say that
weapons?
4 hours ago?
All right.
Shields are at full.
Hold on.
Reroute power.
I mean, I could do that, but I had seen something.
You could transport people.
No, our shields are up. And we're too far away.
I mean, if we think we're going into actual
Support the
combat,
orange.
I can modulate the shields.
Yeah. They're probably going to shoot us.
And they have disruptors, and disruptors are famously
You
annoying.
can do this. It would be at a complication range of +1 because it is a tactical.
Yeah,
action.
but there's no roll.
There's no roll, yeah.
Oh, hey.
Hey.
Still have
So
your
let's see,
minor.
I can do a minor. Do we want to get closer?
No, they're going to be closing with us anyway. We're
And they-
faces.
They're going to prefer to be at close range because of cannons, probably.
I mean, I could also take the derelict Orion ship under tractor. If we think that maybe holding on to them is a good idea, assuming we're in range.
I would worry slightly
not.
about that potentially negating our evasive.
Fair enough. So yeah, speaking of the evasive, that's another thing. I could create a trait that could give you a trait to call on for when you're doing flying.
That sounds good.
I could modulate shields.
Well, you've already.
I think modulate shield is probably
yeah
the best one. Here.
So that puts our resistance 1 over our scale, which is really good.
Yeah.
And minor moving us away a tiny bit. I mean, I am worried about them boarding the ship.
Right.
Or just blowing it up.
Our ship or their ship or the Orions?
Because the Orions probably
Orions,
have some sort of contraband that they want.
I mean, how far away do you want to move? That's a minor action.
Yeah.
Do we maybe want to? I mean, do we want to move out of our phaser range?
Actually, you know what? We probably shouldn't back off because we'd be leaving the Orions
Right.
Yeah.
in danger.
Agreed.
Yeah, I think just having the shields modulated is probably good enough.
Well, we still have our there's still a miner floating around, so it
Yeah.
probably want to
Yeah.
use for something. Oh, you could do a targeting solution or calibrate weapons for me.
yeah.
Because you could do one, I'll just do the other.
Ah, cool. Yeah, so for my miner, I will. Is he within long range? Yes. I'll do a targeting solution
All right.
for the miner, and then for my major, I will modulate the shields to boost our resistance by 2.
All right.
Do you want to select a target system you want me to shoot at, or do you just want to give me a free reroll? Because
I'm thinking a free reroll might work better for this fresh combat.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
And that's me.
Giving that power to the
All
engineering
right.
department's good. I'm glad they did that.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll ever leave main engineering.
Yeah, honestly.
It goes to them.
Mara, I'm going to get a request on my desk requesting that you be allowed to put a cot next to the warp core.
I mean, I've already got a hammock slung there.
Captain, the increased risk of cancer is minimal compared to the decreased risk in the warp core explosion.
Oh, wait, we're TOS, so it's not the vertical warp core. That was
Yeah.
I was going to have my cat tree winding around it.
No, you can't scratch at the warp core.
No, that's what the cat tree is for. It's ablative.
Right.
Oh my god.
We're
This
doing
is
it.
structural cat tree. I don't know.
We
What was it
are-
even made out of? Fuzz?
Harask
We are
follows around with a
so-
spray bottle.
We are so locked in.
Oh yeah. As always.
Like my brain is
They're going to
cooked
launch a
from.
probe.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. They're scanning us too then.
Oh.
All right. Buy an extra die.
Yep.
That is 3 momentum gained. 3 threat gained, I mean. All right. None of your turns left, so it passes to them. Their Dahar Master will act. As the communications officer silently contemplates whether he should have just killed her outright years ago.
Yeah, some
But he
doctor
did.
got my
Like a
way.
good circuit officer.
Ah,
Hey, I was willing to throw my career to the wind. That bird had to step in the way.
I mean,
They have fast targeting sensors, so they are going to choose both
Yep.
reroll and to attack. Do we want to go engines or weapons?
Engines kills you, weapons makes us less a threat. Or kills us, rather. Depends what you care about more.
weapons. If they don't blow you up outright using engines, you'll still have weapons and you'll be able to shoot back.
Yeah.
But if you have no weapons, all they got to do is worry about is keeping up with you.
I believe we're defending if they're shooting at us.
You are defending. Griffin, save the ship.
Oh, my job. Oh, all right. Okay. Here we go. Combat maneuvers as a focus.
Yes.
Actually, maybe I should do helm operations as a focus so I can use my Cochrane Medal of Excellence.
Also, to impress a bit of importance here, that scan probably just killed our resistance.
Yeah, so that's why I'm saying maybe I should use my Cochrane Medal of Excellence.
Yeah.
Even with the additional 2?
Piercing kills all of it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
That's why.
Even with the additional 4, because I had 2 as well.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, I'm going to change my focus to helm operations so I can use my Cochrane Medal of Excellence, which I'm going to do. I'm going to spend point of determination. I'll just spend towards limits are there to be tested again.
Okay.
I keep it. So I'm getting 2 successes, and then my other determination spend is going to be momentum generation.
Okay.
So we go up to 6, and then we go up to 10. I think? Or no, we just go up to 9. I'm not actually spending
up
2
to
points of
9.
determination. And then I'll spend 6 momentum to roll 4 dice.
So those will go away. That's the 6. That's
You still have 3 on the table.
Yeah, still 3 on the table. Checking that I don't have anything else.
You okay, Revere?
That's a lot of zeros there. You all right?
Oh, sorry. Cat.
I was good. I was
I
thinking.
see. Well, yes, I know your character is, but why the zeros?
Yeah. You beat me to it by like 5 seconds.
Exactly. I just curled up on the keyboard without, don't even think about it.
I beat you to it by like a whisker, you're saying?
Yeah, you beat me. Oh, nice.
Furries, man, I swear.
Right, we're only
By
4.
hair.
Yeah.
No, that's bunnies.
All right, so 2, 4, 5, 6, 7 plus the ship structure con.
Wild.
8.
Okay.
Sorry, that
8.
is not a. That's 13. The structure con would not be enough. Structure con would be 10. That's too high.
Okay.
So no hit from the ship.
So 7 hits. I don't believe you would allow Brazen 2 here, Winchester, but I'll check right now anyway.
No.
Cool.
So what's the final number?
Final number is 7. Fortunately. Or unfortunately, we'll see.
All right. Three threat to use the value for the Empire because y'all are in league with those Empire destroying Subgitas.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you get to shake hands with Kalis? No? Too bad.
Yeah, I can't take that in this case because it's a civil war. So, really, who knows which side's for the Empire. So,
yeah, it's fair, yeah.
But yeah, the thing about civil wars is that everyone is the legitimate government to themselves.
To themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
United States of Idaho.
This seems pretty
States of
important.
potato farmers.
I will spend her remaining threat as the Dahar Master puts every ounce of her skill into this.
I think I know what we're going to need to do when our turn comes back. Because, oh crap, this is not a fight we should be having.
we should call in Subgita.
Oh, I wish. Yeah, probably hit us.
That's even, I think, right?
Which is what they need.
The ship hasn't rolled yet.
Let me roll a comp. Hey!
Hey, roll the comp.
It still succeeds. Comps never negate your success, but at least a
Yeah.
bad thing happens.
Can I try to re-roll at this point or no? Because I do have determination that I can use to try and re-roll my ones to get more twos.
I don't know if that'd be worth it because you'd be feeding him threat if you turn him into
Yeah.
zeros.
Yeah.
It's true. Depends how
I'm
much
not
we
gonna
don't want to
stop
get hit
him.
here.
We could probably survive one hit. I don't think we could survive two.
Okay. I was just worried because of the lack of resistance.
That's bad. Like, don't get me wrong, but it's not likely to insta give us.
We do have full shields right now. Like
Yeah.
they might 50% us or so, but
It's gonna hurt. Don't get me wrong.
Okay.
It's gonna suck.
your attack resolves. I'm still holding up blue.
Maybe resistance comes back. Who knows?
Yeah.
I'm just thinking best case scenarios
yeah.
here. I don't know if it's gonna be that nice.
Probably not.
Maybe their disruptor blows up.
Maybe we gain our added resistance, but not our base resistance.
It's still +4 though.
Yeah, exactly. Higher than our base resistance. You know, the maneuvering and the shield modulation still work. Maybe. I don't know.
What's our severity there, GM? Or maybe they did a reroll. They didn't do piercing because they're arrogant.
I'm trying to add it up.
Maybe.
Does my plan work the way I think? Let's look it up. Let's not assume that's how it works. Okay. All right. I have a plan, but it's gonna be super risk, but it's probably less risky than
I was
what
gonna
we're
ask
doing.
if it's a good plan, but you know.
It's a risk. Yeah, it's not. I can't guarantee it'll land.
Oh, this is the benefit of having fast targeting sensors. They do have a reroll. Because they get both benefits.
I don't think they can reroll their ship die.
It's a single. It's a D20 on the task. It does not state.
But that's the assist, not the task roll.
Yeah, that's the assist though. Their task roll is their main roll, right? I mean, don't get me wrong. I think that ruling in the long term would benefit us.
Yeah.
Being able to reroll a ship's die. But
It's on the task.
And if it cuts that way, it'll cut that way with us as well. But it's one of the, because technically this is the ship freely assisted.
I'm not worried about. I guess I'm not worried about that. I'm more worried about what the how it should be according to the language. If it
What
if
are
it
they
hurts
firing
here
at
is
us?
not the biggest issue.
What weapon system are they trying to use here?
Phaser banks.
Then aren't we in long range? Phaser banks have a medium range.
No,
we're in medium right now.
You're in medium.
Oh.
Close is
Closest
here.
to Jason Hexes.
Medium
not
is
Hexes.
here.
Oh, okay.
No, page 295. Medium is a distance of one zone. Or an adjacent.
I was about to say, because we've been firing at meeting.
Yeah, we've been doing that wrong then the whole combat.
We've been doing that wrong for the whole combat then, including y'all's attack.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have to let that go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, right. We're looking at friggin' targeting solution. The problem they've done with second E is that they've taken a lot of things as read as 2D20 baseline mechanics. I was like, you should not do that. The book should stand on its own without having to loop back to other stuff.
Yeah.
Because there's certain things that I'm thinking of. I'm like, well, that going by the SRD, that's how it works. Like, yeah, but the SRD has all kinds of weird crap that you can do. Fortune rolls, hope rolls,
right?
Determination, no determination. Your crit range is non-existent or it's huge. You have a wealth score. You don't have a wealth
trees
score.
and
talent trees. This kind of goes, like no, we don't know. Spell it out. Spell out your mechanics. Otherwise, you run into weird edge cases
like I've
like
definitely
this.
liked.
Yeah,
I've definitely liked a lot of the improvements in 2E, but it does feel a little bit shaky like that.
Yeah. You're not a narrative system. You are a traditional system. You've got to spell things out.
Even narrative systems have unless it's pure diceless, you still have to define things.
2D20 is kind of, a traditional system trying to cosplay as a modern narrative system, yeah.
It is
a
an
modern
STA
narrative system.
It is an STA.
I did that on purpose. Yeah.
I think in other variants, it hews much better to its trad self.
RPG trad systems?
I mean,
no,
we do not want to play trad system.
I like to call it
Either
narrative
meaning of that
forward
word.
myself. It's like it's not a pure narrative game, but it's certainly not a tactical mechanic heavy game like something like Traveler or D&D or something like that, which is a lot more mechanics heavy than narrative heavy.
Yeah. In Traveler, missiles have travel time, and you have to wait for them to hit their opponents.
This system is a lot less simulationist.
Because you want simulation Star Trek, you go with the FASA one? No, not FASA.
Also Decipher.
Cipher, that's what I was thinking. Well, no, Cipher or FASA were very right down to decks
Decipher.
And how many PowerPoints each individual system had. You had a whole ship board, which is neat, but also very bookkeepy.
The complication is going to be that some of their beams are going to cut through the Orion ship. So many people who were willing to surrender, not that y'all got the chance to ask them, but pirates aren't fight to the death kind of people. They don't even get the chance to surrender and provide the intelligence that could bring down their game.
That complication is bad for us.
Yeah.
You're right. What? Oh, hold on.
Yeah.
Right. What am I doing?
Wait a minute.
Why are you helping the Klingons out? It's their comp. We didn't roll it for once. Believe me, we rolled a lot, to be fair, but
we rolled quite a few comp. I think it was force of habit.
I'll keep the idea, but instead it'll cut their probe in half. So that minor action was lost.
All right.
Hey, that's not bad. Mind at all.
And how much severity was the hit?
That's what I spent so much time calculating.
Okay.
I think the answer is 7.
2.
Ignoring resistance.
Yep.
Ugh.
Oh, okay.
We're at 8 of 15 if that's the case.
Nasty. We can technically tank one more hit like that.
Not really. We're very close to 50%. We get another tap like that.
Yeah.
We're gonna be spiraling.
Yeah, oh yeah. I'm saying like we get one more. That's it.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, we start feeling negative effects with like any additional damage.
Thinking of tapping us for one more. I see they'll start on the board.
They're going to tap you for 3 more. Disruptors are intense.
Oh, that's right. Yep.
Oh, that hurts.
Oh, sorry, that's what I was looking up and I forgot. The Dahar Master has ambush tactics.
It's like up severity by 2.
So it's 9 severity plus an additional 3.
Wait, but doesn't
Well.
ambush tactics require that like they have the drop on us?
A vulnerability.
They did. It doesn't require a trait. It just requires them to have an
advantage.
it's I forget the wording. I'm looking it up, but it's what Corbinian has done.
Yeah.
Well, and I was also gonna say, yeah, let me look at my my Klingon guy because he has it too.
Unaware of your presence or suffering from a trait or complication which represents a weakness or
represents a weakness or vulnerability.
So
yeah,
scan
there we
for
go.
weakness
Yeah.
is, I've argued, is something that should apply because it is it is a vulnerability we've created.
Yeah, we've kind of accepted that for several episodes now.
Yeah. Which makes sense. It's one of those.
So yeah, recalculate that you took 13 without.
We're down to 3 shields. Yeah.
Ooh.
Okay, so that is.
We're at 33% shields.
33%.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you are shaken right now. Actually, sorry, the captain gets to choose or roll on the table.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just roll the dice because why not? R1d20. 6.
Next turn, anyone takes, they lose their major.
Okay.
You are braced for impact.
Okay.
Might as well be me, I think.
Well, it's whoever acts next. It's whoever it is.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Okay, there's nothing else I can squeeze out of her turn.
We've all gone.
Okay.
I'm going to do something unusual and pitch that maybe we stop here because we're about to get to the point where it'd be really handy to have a player chief engineer, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But it's my hard stop time.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be fine with that.
I will. Let me finish out the round for them because you can't act before then.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Yep.
So it will not change the outcome.
Finish out
But
that
we
round,
will
yeah.
we will halt even if you have to drop. Yeah.
I'm going to hang on until this finishes, just in case we need the precautions.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So they have a security of 4, so they are allowed. Actually, it's higher than 4, but they are allowed to fire again without any complication increase because they have another person to take a different security terminal. No resources though, so it's a flat roll.
And we still
against
oppose.
y'all.
So we still defend against being shot at.
Yeah. Let's see.
Good thing is the resistance is back because they've lost their they've attacked us and you only get 1 pit kick of the can per scan.
Yeah, that's good. I'm still going to go all in on this, I think. So determination spend.
Whoa.
What the? Whoa.
What happened?
That's a lot of.
No.
Okay. Fun.
Just ignore all that.
Okay.
Yeah. Determination spend. Speed is a drug.
Yeah.
Is making
combat maneuvers.
Say that
Griffin
again.
the bridge going.
Combat maneuvers.
Yeah.
As a focus, yes.
Let's see. I don't think there's anything else that I should do on here. Yeah. Just going to spend the momentum that we have to roll 3 dice.
Okay,
and we'll
and,
generate
if
one
they
momentum
are
off of my
also
determination spend.
weapons.
So we will still have 1 momentum.
Oh, right. You're right.
Yeah.
Structure con.
That's 5 seconds. Sorry, 5 seconds. That's 6 successes.
6 hits, yeah.
6, yep.
And I keep.
Nice.
Yeah.
I will still roll, but they cannot succeed.
Wonderful.
Hey,
So you gain all but
That
one
is
of
a
that
comp.
back as momentum.
Nice.
And that is an actual comp on the ship.
Yeah.
That's a 20.
Is that their last move?
No, they have one more.
Oh.
Oh no, because there's only 5 of you.
And he lost a guy because someone got shot.
Yeah.
Oh, he's easily replaced by someone
It's
else.
true, I know.
But
Yeah,
I'm just
fair.
being a smart aleck.
Fair.
One pitch as a closeout, unless we want to simulate it out. But I was thinking that we might grab this guy and run rather than sit and fight with this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of why I was thinking offered to tractor beam.
Tractor beam,
We'd have to
keep,
move into
run away. There's still a roll off
Yeah,
when we run away, but I don't know if they'd follow us. I don't know if you want to roll that out or not. Because I
We
don't think we're
need
going to sit here and
to,
fight them. I don't think that's our plan.
if
need to impulse into close.
if the Commodore gives the order to take them out of here, then I know what will happen, but I would require Soloris giving that as the actual order.
Okay, well, from my understanding of my regulations, and knowing that there is still an active firefight with the other ships involved, would it be a dereliction of duty for me to not engage them but to pull back without orders? Or do I have operational freedom to make the arrest and pull back?
You would, in the worst case scenario, you would be violating Directive 3 in order to ensure that you have completed 1 and 2.
Okay.
So the worst that you could say, someone could say, is that you did fail at 1 of your directives, but you guaranteed 2 of them when it was possible to lose all 3.
Yeah, Solor, she's not in this case, the pirates have caused so much problems. She thinks it's better, 1 in the hand is worth 2 in the bush. And so she's going to, when this suggestion gets brought up, she's going to say, main engineering, prepare to tractor, helm. Once tractor is locked, pull us back to the fleet.
Understood, ma'am.
All right.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, that's the first time you've seen this board. Unless you saw the
Yeah.
photo.
No, I didn't have time, unfortunately.
I see how it is. It's okay.
Feeling snubbed over there?
I don't know. It's fine. It's okay.
Is tractor a security thing? I'm sorry.
No. That wasn't what I was talking about.
No, this was much more petty.
Oh, people are covering our escape, it looks like.
Yeah.
You're saying anything, we're not hearing it. We're just seeing ships move.
I was going to say things once I had.
Oh, okay.
Is this the Doc Chanaka over here?
Hey, yes,
It
it
is.
is.
Yeah.
I made sure you
Wait.
turned it red. I'm like, it's unique. It's red. Also, it's convenient when you have multiple of the same ship because there's only so many models in the Klingon fleet.
Mm-hmm.
True.
Which one's the hero ship? The red one.
The red one. The one the color of blood. Ah!
So,
It's so cool.
Solaris, you commit to this action.
Oh.
You hail the Commodore. I mean, the Commodore. You hail Admiral Sean, and he agrees. Says that the fleet will regroup to prepare for the actual securing of the ground, but you are to be detached with the remaining. Actually, they can't even keep up with you. He's going to dispatch you alone. Actually, he will send. I forget. He will send the other. Let me look at what's its name. This is not normally a ship under your command.
Yes, mono engines. Let's go.
The Nagato?
Yeah.
And you and the only other ships that can keep up with you, the USS Nagato, to tow this together, to get it and all of the Orion personnel on it back to Andromeda alive and where they can be processed. I imagine quickly transferring over people like Kaufman and the Doctor to secure and save the Orions from their own mistakes. But Starfleet Security and Tactical and the Admiral are left behind to actually secure those who were on the ground. Resolving the Klingon Civil War is not his responsibility, though.
Yeah, that's why the Doc Tanaka's here.
So, we will see next week the Doc Tanaka take on all comers as the end of the
That's gonna be
Klingon
fun.
Civil War is Solaris has solved Starfleet's pirate problem in the Andromeda region of the Vega subsector, but has abdicated control of the Klingon Civil War into the hands of Zhou Sabgita and Zhou Dator.
I actually
Okay,
have.
Well, when you put it like that, that's not great. But one in the hand is worth two in the bush. That's all I'm saying.
It's not what she said, but anyway.
Oh my god.
Anyway, I have a fully statted out 1E version of Kolek. If you want me to update
Not
that.
needed. So the only reason I called him out was that if I needed a Zhou Sabgita that you were not playing,
Okay.
I needed that for Corbinian to play because Corbinian has controlled Kolek before, right? Because he was there at the beginning of Sabgita. He was alive for like the first couple of episodes, right?
Yeah, before the Bemoth
So,
treachery.
but that's not
Oh.
needed. If you're here, then you can use the grandfather.
Cool.
I do have one. I do have one question before you hop off, Joe.
Yeah.
Subkita.
Do you mind if I
'Cause
close
I
out
remember-
real quick?
Oh yes,
Yep.
go.
You can close
Do
out.
that.
Yes. So for everyone watching out there, thank you very much for watching. For those of you playing and running, thank you very much for doing so. And next time, as the GM said, we will see what happens with the Doc Tanaka and the end of this Klingon Civil War. Have a good one.
Oh,
See you next
nerve-wracking.
time. Bye.
So my question was, I remember the last time we did the game with Tsukita, there was the whole thing where we captured another Klingon ship. And
Yeah.
You did
we claimed that for the house, right?
so that your succeeding in that episode is what what got you to this point of